Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Harwell, bringing you New York Yankees baseball. This is a national pastime on WAPBA, the voice of baseball in your home since 1951. We're coming to you from out here at the park. Today, the visiting Cleveland Indians will test the Yankees at home.
Their record now, 3-0. This is the first game in this 3-game series.
The Yankees take the field here in the first. Manager Mack sends out his squad this way. Garrett at first base. Lazari at second. Koenig, the shortstop. Dugan at third. The outfield consists of Musial in left field. Combs in center field. And Ruth over in right. Collins is behind the plate. And on the mound for the Yankees, the right-handed Hoyt. This is Hoyt's second start of the season. 1 win. No losses.
He's coming off a win.
After 1 game, his ERA at 2.31. He will be facing Indian starter, right-hander Wynn. So settle in. We're ready to start this game. Avila will lead off the
first.
Hits for average. So far at the plate,
3
hits in 13 trips. He's walked once. Avila steps up to the plate. Hoyt looking home. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air to center. Combs takes 3 steps to his right, and he covers it. 1 down. Smith to face Hoyt. Al can hit to date. 1 for 10. He's walked twice. Al can get on. Smith waits. Now Hoyt ready. Hoyt deals. Smith doesn't offer, and he draws a free pass. Next up, Cleveland hitter Rosen. A sure hitter to date. 1 for 7. He's walked 6 times. Smith at first can run. Right-hander Hoyt ready. The pitch comes in. High, and Smith is off the bag. Collins stomps, but he holds the ball. Ball 1. Rosen stands in again. Hoyt is ready to fire it in. The pitch. Swung on, line to short. He leaps, caught. And Smith returns to first. Doby is now up. You don't want to pitch carelessly with Larry. So far, 2 for 13. 1 homer,
3
ribbies. The hitter stands in. Hoyt gets set to pitch. Hoyt rocks and fires. Swung on, and it's pulled hard to right. Ruth will play it on the hop. Smith is well around second. But the third base coach is on the job, and they hold Smith up as the throw comes in. And Doby has a single. Smith at second, Doby at first. 2 away, the top of the first inning. Glenn walks up. He bats left. A trusty bat. To date, 2 for 12. Hoyt climbs a mound. Hoyt gets set to pitch. Hoyt comes home. Popped high to the right side. Lazari drifts back. The runners are moving. He's under it and makes the catch. For the Indians, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 2. They waste the runners. Indians, nothing. Yankees coming up. For the Indians,
their record now,
1
wins and 2 losses. In the league, they came into the game
6th
in batting
at 179. The Indians take the field here in the first. McCarthy has set his opening slate. Glenn at first base. Avila at second. Strickland at the shortstop. Rosen at third. The outfield consists of Billy in left field. Smith in center field. And Doby over in right. Hegan is behind the plate and starting for the Indians. The starboard sided win. This is Wynn's second start of the season. His record 0-1.
He lost his last start.
After one game, his ERA at 12.27. Combs will lead it off. Combs at the plate to hit. To date at bat
3
for 16. No walks yet. Wynn looking home. Wynn brings it to the plate. Fly ball center field. Should be no trouble. Smith is there, and he pulls it in. One down. Here comes Musial to take his cuts. A bat to watch so far. 4 for 16. He has yet to walk. He's stolen one base. When the Yankees need a base runner, Musial is the guy they want up there. The hitter stands in. Wynn looking in. He delivers. Swung on, smashed toward the gap in right center. Smith is racing back. Hits over his head, off the wall. He's chasing it down. Musial hits second on a full steam. The coach is waving him to third. Here comes the throw. The relay. And he's out. Just missed getting in. He's out trying to stretch it. Score that a double. Ruth the hit. 2 away. None on. For New York. A hero in the bleachers on the season. 5 for 9.
3
home runs, and he's driven in 6. He's walked 7 times.
He swatted homers in 2 straight.
Wynn looking home. Wynn into the wind. It's a whiff. Side retired. For the Yankees, no runs on 1 hit. They leave none, so they do not score. No score in the game. We go to the top of the second inning. Hegan, Billy, and Strickland to bat next. Hegan will lead off the second. He bats right. He's an occasional hitter. To date at bat
3
for 13. He has 2 RBIs. Hoyt gets set to pitch. The pitch. Fastball high. Free pass to Hegan, and the ump gives him first. That was Hegan's first walk of the season. For Cleveland, no outs, 1 on. Philly is stepping up to hit against Hoyt. Philly not strong at the plate on the year.
3
for 11. He's walked once. Hegan is fast enough to be a factor here. Hoyt focuses in on the target. And Billy is bunting. The delivery, and he fouls it back. Strike 1. Hoyt delivers again. He brings it home. The sacrifice is on. He bleeds the ball to the left side. Don't even think of a play at second. Dugan throws to Gehrig. Billy has himself a successful sacrifice. And Hegan moves up. Strickland is stepping up to hit against Hoyt. He's a right-handed batter for Cleveland. 1 gone, 1 on. Let's see if he can outperform his advanced billing. So far this season, 1 for 8. He's walked
3
times. Hoyt put on the rubber. Right-handed Hoyt ready. Here's a pitch from Hoyt. It's a shot to left center. Musial is running to the gap. He's under it and makes the catch. Hegan is tagging, but they're holding him at second as the ball is returned to the infield. Here's Wynn to take his swings. Hegan down at second. 2 outs. On the season, he's 0 for 2. A single will test Hegan at second. Collins ready to receive. The pitch. Swung on, popped foul behind first. Azari's racing over, waves off Gehrig, and he gloves it. 3 down. That'll do it for Cleveland.
No runs on no hits.
No errors. They leave one. A chance goes by the board. No score. The Yankees will get a try in the bottom of the second inning. For New York, it'll be Gehrig, Azari, and Collins. Gehrig leading it off. People stop and watch Lou take his cuts. To date, batting 5 for 10. 1 homer. 5 ribbies. He's walked 6 times. Right-hander win. Ready. The pitch. Gehrig goes down swinging. 1 down. One away. Next up, Azari. Azari, good at the plate. So far at the plate, only 2 for 16. He's due. 1 homer, 3 ribbies. He has yet to walk. Azari has patience. Azari now ready. Hegan crouched down now. Here's the delivery. Azari doesn't offer, and he draws a free pass. That was Azari's first walk of the season. Next batter, Collins. Collins, good at the plate on the season. 6 hits in 15 trips. He has 2 RBIs. No walks yet. Swift-footed Azari at first. Collins in the box. Catcher ready. He brings it home. High and inside, and the count goes full. So Collins will get back in there. Now Wynn ready. Azari is off for the pitch. Swung on, grounded hard to short. Off his chest. He picks it up. Throws quickly to first for the second out. Azari moves up. No chance for the lead runner. 1 on. Next up, Koenig. He gets his share of hits. So far, 5 for 14. He has 4 RBIs. No walks yet. Mark steps up. Hegan ready to receive. Wynn working on Azari to hold him close. Now the delivery. It's lifted high to shallow left. Strickland is drifting back, and he's got it. And that's out number 3. For the Yankees, nothing across. 1 left, no score. We head for the top of the 3rd inning. The Yankees will face the top of the order here in the 3rd. Avila, Smith, and Rosen. To get it going for the Indians here, Avila. Now Hoyt ready. Hoyt into his motion. Delivers. Swung on. Hot smash to Azari. He dives. He knocks it down. Throws quickly. In time. 1 down. Here's Smith coming to the plate. Al can get on. Smith in the box. Hoyt staring in, ready to work. Hoyt brings it home. Smith laces it into the gap in right. It's a tweener to the wall. And Smith pulls into second base standing up. For Smith is first. Double of the season. For Cleveland, 1 down. Smith on second. Here's Rosen to take his swings. Hoyt is on the slab. Checks Smith at second. Hoyt spins and fires to second. Then it's in the dirt. Scooped by Koenig. The tag. And they get him. He's picked off. And that's the second out. Now Hoyt ready. Hoyt winds and fires. Just over the knees. The plate up. Thumbs him out. Side retired. That'll do it for Cleveland. No runs on 1 hit. So they do not score. Still no score. The Yankees will get a try in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Dugan, Hoyt, and Combs to bat next. Leading off, Dugan. He can surprise you at the plate so far.
3 was 12.
He's walked
3
times. Right-handed Wynn goes to the set position. Here's a pitch from Wynn. He pops it up. Glenn is backing up. He's calling for it and makes the catch. 1 down. Hoyt gets set to face Wynn. On the season, he's 1 for 4. He's sacrificed once. Catcher Hegan sets his target. Wynn to the wind. Batted slowly toward first. Glenn feels it and feeds Wynn coming over for the putout. Two gone, third inning. Here's left-handed Combs to take his swings. We're back at the top of the order. Combs waiting. Right-handed Wynn ready. He wheels and deals. Hard shot to the right side, and it's through. Base hit for Combs. Two down, third inning, 1 on. It's now Musial to bat. Musial gets in there. Wynn poised. The offering to Musial. The heater, it's in there. 3 down. For the Yankees, nothing across. No errors. 1 left. Still no score here after 3, and we head for the middle innings. Doby, Glenn, and Hegan to bat next. To get it going for the Indians here, Doby. He hits from the left. Doby takes his stance. Pitcher Hoyt set to go. The pitch from Hoyt. Pulled hard down the line. Fair ball. Ruth is racing for it into the corner. Doby's around second. He's going for third. Azari's relay. Not in time. Safe at third. Triple from Doby. That's Doby's second hit of the game and his first triple of the season. Well, the Indians have no one out. Runner third. Next to bat for Cleveland is Glenn. Hoyt on the rubber. Hoyt prepares to come home. They're playing him in. Looks at third. The pitch. It's a high fly to right. Ruth camps in his tracks and brings it down. Doby tags. But they're holding him at third. That ball just not deep enough. The Indians have 1 out. Doby down at third. Here's the right-handed Hegan to take his swings. Hoyt is on the slab. Turns the ball slowly behind his back. Right-handed Hoyt goes to the set position. They're pulled in around the infield. Doby down the line some at third. He comes home. Big swing. Hits a dying quail to right. Ruth gallops in. Azari races back. But it parachutes between them. A Texas League single for Hegan. Doby scores easily, and Hegan has the RBI. So the single drives in 1, and the Indians break the tie and now lead 1-0 here in the 4th. And Hegan now has 3 runs batted in on the season. Philly is the next hitter. Hegan will get a good jump. Hoyt looking in at the target. Hegan going with a pitch. Hoyt delivers. Lined back to the mound, and it's off his leg. Philly races down the line. No play. Hegan holds up at second. Score that on a shin burner single. 2 on, the top of the 4th inning. Strickland is up. He stands in. Hoyt sets up on the rubber again. Collins set. The pitch to Strickland. Swung on. Easy bounce out of Azari. Could be two. He flips the Koenig at second. Over to first.
Yes, double play.
And they get out of the inning. The half for the Indians. 1 run,
3
hits, no errors. They leave 1. So they have 1 in the bank. Yankees on the short end, 1-0. Cleveland will now face the heart of the Yankees lineup. Ruth, Gehrig, and Azari coming up. Leading off, Ruth. Babe steps up. Catcher ready. Win
with the pitch.
Swung on, grounded to Rosens at third. Throws quickly. Out by a step. 1 away. Okay, the Yankees have 1 gone. Bases clear. Next up, Gehrig. He's their cleanup hitter. Gehrig steps up to the plate. Wynn gets set to pitch. Wynn fires it in. He pops it up. Glenn is backing up. He's calling for it and makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Next up,
New York
hitter Azari. Now Wynn ready. The pitch from Wynn. Swing and a miss. Azari goes down on strikes.
That's 3 away.
So the Yankees go in order. We've played 4. Yankees still down by 1. For Cleveland, here in the 5th, Wynn, Avila, and Smith. Here's Wynn to lead it off. Wynn relaxes himself at the plate. Right-hander Hoyt ready. The pitch. Swung on, chopping ground ball up the middle. Koenig is over. Stabs for it, and he's got it. Fires to first in time. 1 away. One away. Bases clear for Cleveland. Avila up. Bobby is their leadoff man. Bobby can pop it. Hoyt will go to work on him. The pitch. Grounded weakly to Gehrig. And he steps on first for the out. 2 down. Here's Smith. 2 outs. Smith is 1 for 1 and walked once. Catcher Collins sets his target. The pitch. Smith bounces one toward short. Grabbed on 2 hops by Koenig. Makes the throw. And Smith is out at first for the 3rd out. So the Indians are retired in order. Yankees behind the Indians. 1-0. Collins, Koenig, and Dugan to bat next. Collins
starts it for the
Yankees. Collins waiting for Wynn. Wynn looking in at the target. Wynn winds and fires. Popped way high to the left of the mound. Strickland comes in. Egan comes out. Rosen is over. Wynn is trying to direct traffic. Who's got it? Nobody. It falls heavily attended, and Collins is on at first. Scored at a single. The tying run is on. Okay, Collins on first. Koenig is stepping up to hit against Wynn. Koenig is 0 for 1. Collins, a decent runner. Wynn sets up on the rubber again. Checks the runner. He squares. He delivers, and Koenig lays one down. Glenn feels it. He might have a play on Collins. No, he'll flip to Avila, covering first. A sacrifice for Koenig. Collins moves down to second. The tying run is now at second base. One on, right-handed hitter Dugan. gets set to bat against Wynn. Joe 0 for 1. Wynn stretches his arms above his head. Joe at the plate. Adjusts himself. Tugs at his cap. Now ready. Wynn is on the slab. Wynn gets set to pitch. Here's the delivery. Just catches the plate. See you later. 2 away. All right, for New York. 2 down, 1 on, down by 1. Here's a pitcher, Hoyt. And the fans are giving him a hand. Wynn sets up on the rubber again. Hegan sets up. The pitch. Just off the plate. And he issues a free pass, setting up the force. That was Hoyt's first walk of the season. Okay, Collins at second, Hoyt at first. 2 down, the bottom of the 5th inning. Combs gets set to bat against Wynn. Earl has some pop in his bat. On the season, only 1 RBI so far for Earl. He had a hit earlier. Wynn put on the rubber, checks the runners. The pitch. Swung on, but it's a fly ball to the gap in right. Doby is racing over, but he won't get it. It's to the wall. Collins scores. Tie ball game. Hoyt is around third. They're waving Hoyt in. Strickland will relay. And he scores. Yankees lead. Combs holds second with a double as the throw comes back in. So the double scores 2, and the Yankees take the lead from the Indians. They now lead by 1, 2-1. Listen to that crowd. That gives Combs 3 RBI on the season. Here's the right-handed Musial to take his swings for New York. 2 away, 1 on. Bob has a hit and 2 at-bats. Musial waiting. Right-handed Wynn ready. Combs stretching his lead. And the pitch, strike 3. He's out of there. 3 down for Wynn. Strikeout number 6. The line for the Yankees, 2-2-0. They leave 1. New York goes out in front. The score is 2-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Indians now send up the heart of their order to face Hoyt, Rosen, Doby, and Glenn. Rosen to lead it off for the Indians, and he hacks from the right. Right-hander Hoyt ready. He lets it go. Well hit drive. Deep to left field. Carrying. And Musial chases it down. What a catch. 1 away. Well, 1 out. Bases clear for Cleveland. Doby now walks out to bat. He bats left-handed. Doby knows how to get on base. Right-handed Hoyt goes to the set position. Hoyt into his motion. Delivers. Grounded weakly to Gehrig. And he steps on first for the out. 2 gone. Glenn is now up. Glenn has done nothing in 2 trips. Glenn waiting for Hoyt. Collins ready to receive. The pitch. Glenn swings. It's a high bouncer to third. Dugan gloves it. Sets. Long throw to first, and he gets him. 3 away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Midway through the 6th. Yankees still with a 1-run lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Yankees now send up the heart of their order to face Wynn, Ruth, Gehrig, and Zary. Here's Ruth to start it off. A hero in the bleachers. Wynn looking home. The pitch. Ruth started the swing. Did he hold up? They check with the third base ump. A base on balls for Ruth. Ruth on at first. Now Gehrig to face Wynn, left side batter. A big, big bat. Ruth will take a big lead. He has the speed. Gehrig steps in. Wynn set. He cranks and fires. Fastball high. Free pass to Gehrig, and Lou takes first. And there's a runner in scoring position. Runners at first and second. No outs. The bottom of the sixth inning. Azari, the hit. Azari with dependable power. Tony has 3 RBIs this season. Wynn on the rubber. Checks the runners. The runners take their lead. Wynn brings it home. He squares. Bunted to the right side. Glenn picks it up. Looks at third. Now turns and flips to first. In time for the out. Azari sacrifices, and the runners move up. Right-handed batter Collins steps up to face Wynn. 1 out. Ruth and Gehrig at third and second, up by 1. He has a single already. He has occasional power. He puts the ball in play. He doesn't want to lose the plate here. Wynn wipes sweat from his hands. Collins in the batter's box. Works his back foot. Leans in. Wynn sets up on the rubber again. Hegan ready to receive. Infield deep. Ruth with a good lead off third. The delivery from Wynn. Can't find the strike zone. That's ball 4. And Collins coaxes a walk. And the bases are loaded. And that's the 5th walk issued by Wynn. That was Collins' first walk of the season. Bases full. The bottom of the 6th inning. Koenig's up. Decent power. Mark has driven home 4 runs for the season. New York started Hoyt pitching well, but the Yankees could use a little insurance. Koenig grips his right shoulder, ties the lace on his left shoe. Wynn works the ball with his hand. The batter stands in, sets his cap, waits. Wynn is on the slab. Right-handed Wynn goes to the set position. Infield back at double play depth. Here's the pitch from Wynn, grounded hard to short. He has it. He juggles it, fires to first, and he gets him. But Ruth scores, and the other runners move up. And the Yankees now lead 3-1. Okay, 2 gone. Runners at second and third. The bottom of the 6th inning. New York now sends Dugan to bat. Okay, power. The Yankees lead the Indians 3-1. Wynn bends for the rosin bag. Fiddle hitches out there. Joe stands in, sets his hands, waits. Right-handed Wynn goes to the set position. And they are putting Dugan on. He trots down to first. So what do you do now, sports fans, if you're McCarthy from Cleveland? McCarthy will let Wynn take his chances with Hoyt. 2 down, 6th inning. Bases choked. Next up, pitcher Hoyt. Wait, ready. Wynn sets up on the rubber again. Righty against righty. Wynn looking in. The runners take their lead. The pitch grounded to the right side, wide of first. And it squirts by Glenn and into right field for a single. 1 run scores. Collins is well around third. Dugan is well around second. They're waving Collins in. They're sending Dugan to third also. Collins scores. Dugan makes third as the throw comes into Avila. So the single drives in 2. That was pitcher Hoyt who delivered, helping himself. And the Yankees add to their lead. The score now 5-1. Combs coming up. Earl is 2 for 3. He has 2 ribbies. And here comes Indians manager McCarthy. He's asking Wynn for the ball. They'll go to Jackson. So Wynn goes 5 2/3. The game for Wynn, 5 runs. So far, on 5 hits. Walk 6. He fans 6. He's responsible for the runners. He can only lose it. Jackson throws from the right. He has a lofty 9 ERA. This is his second appearance. He's worked 2 innings. No record yet. He'll try to hold them to let the Indians get back in it. Jack is finished with his warm-up pitches. The umpire is brushing off the plate. We're ready to go. Right-hander Jack ready. The runners take their lead. Now Jack comes home with it. Combs hits a frozen rope. Straightaway center. Smith backs up a couple of steps. And he reaches up and grabs it for the putout. For the Yankees, 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 2. So the Yankees now with a safer margin. Yankees ahead 5-1. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Hegan, Billy, and Strickland due up for Cleveland. Hegan leading off the 7th. Not a lot of power. Hegan waiting for Hoyt. Hoyt is ready to fire it in. Hoyt brings it. Check swing. He held up, and he walks. Billy to face Hoyt. Hoyt is ready to fire it in. The pitch to Billy. And Billy belts it deep to right. Ruth retreats to the wall. Does he have room? His eyes are skyward. And the ball is out of here. A 2-run shot. So they collect 2 on the Billy homer, his first home run of the season, and the Indians get 2 back. They trail by 2, 5-3. That gives Billy 3 RBI on the season. It's now Strickland at the bat. No outs, 2 runs in. Strickland takes his stance. Hoyt looking in at the target. The pitch comes in. Swung on, grounded to Dugan at third. Throws quickly. Out by a step. 1 down. Jack coming up. Bob taking his first at bat of the season. Hoyt gets set to pitch. Indians skipper McCarthy walking down the bench. McCarthy is recalling pitcher Jack. Who is it? Westlake will bat for him. Bats right. He shoulders the bat. Heads to the box. So Jack goes 1/3 of an inning. He yielded. No runs on no hits. Here comes Westlake to take his cuts. A steady hitter. Collins sets up. The pitch. A blast to right. Way back. It's gone. He just went with a pitch. So they collect a solo homer, clubbed in his very first at-bat, and the Indians are sneaking up on the Yankees. They are within 1. Score now 5-4, and these fans just inched forward in their seats. Avila to hit. Bobby can get on. Collins ready to receive. Now Hoyt pitches. He popped him up. Koenig drifting back. He's calling for it. And he's got it. 2 away. Smith will bat next for Cleveland. 2 gone. Smith has a hit and a walk in 3 trips. Smith with dependable power. Now Hoyt ready. Here comes the pitch. On the hands, it's a slow roller toward Dugan. He charges. Scoops it over to first. Just in time, and that retires the side. The half for the Indians.
3
Runs 2. Hits, no errors. They do some damage. And now they trail by only 1. Yankees leading by 1. 5-4. And we'll go to the home half. Okay, folks, on your feet. Take a break for the 7th inning stretch. The new pitcher will face the Yankees artillery, Musial, Ruth, and Gehrig. Narleski is coming on to pitch for the Indians. Narleski throws from the right. This is his 2nd appearance. His ERA at infinity. He was knocked out before getting an out. Here's Musial to lead it off. Bob has some pop in his bat. The Yankees are looking to cushion their lead. Narleski is finished with his warm-up pitches. The umpire is brushing off the plate. We're ready to go. Narleski looking home. And now the pitch. It's a looping ball to short center.
It drops in.
Musial rounds first and home. He's on with a single. Second safety for Musial. No one out. 7th inning. 1 on. Ruth steps up to face Narleski. Babe, a terrific slugger. Musial at first has wings. The Yankees would like at least 1 more run. Narleski set. Narleski kicks and delivers. Swung on, strike. And there goes Musial. Hegan turns it around fast, tags him. Then he gets him. 1 away. Ruth ready to take on Narleski again. Narleski will go to work on him. Narleski fires it in. That's high in the air to right center. Doby goes back for it. Up against the wall. Doby times his leap and comes down with a glove full of air. A round tripper from Ruth. So they collect a solo homer, his 4th home run of the season.
He's now homered in 3 straight games, leading the league in home runs.
And the Yankees now lead 6-4. And Ruth now has 7 runs batted in on the season. New York now sends Gehrig to bat, hitting from the left side. He's their cleanup hitter. A showstopper. Gehrig settles himself in the box. Narleski poised. Narleski to the wind. Wide of the strike zone. Ball 4. And Gehrig trots down to first. Azari up. Tony can hit for power. Swift-footed Gehrig at first. Narleski now set. Big hold on the right side. Gehrig takes a good lead. He cranks and fires. Swung on. Hit the Billy in deep left. He's after it. Plenty of room. And he hauls it in. That's the 2nd out. And Gehrig returns to first. For New York, 2 down, 1 on. The bottom of the 7th inning. Collins walks up. He bats right. Collins, in 3 appearances, 1 hit, 1 free pass, and he scored twice. Narleski comes set. He lets it go. Popped up in foul territory. Higgins scrambles back toward the screen. It's playable, and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. That'll do it for New York. A run on 2 hits. 1 left. They add a little padding. The score is 6-4 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. New York will now face the heart of the Indians lineup. Rosen, Doby, and Glenn coming up. Here's Rosen to start it off, right-hander. When the Indians need a base runner, Rosen is the guy they want up there. Rosen settles himself in the box. Collins ready to receive. The pitch. Rosen wraps it to the right side. Azari ranges to his left. A quick peg to first, and Rosen is retired. That's 1. Well, we have Doby coming up to hit. He bats left. Larry, 2 for 3. And he scored once. Doby has patience. The hitter stands in. Hoyt will go to work on him. The offering from Hoyt. Swung on, smashed toward the gap in right center. Combs is racing back. Hits over his head, off the wall. He's chasing it down. Doby hits second on the full steam, and he puts on the brakes. The coach is holding him up. Double for Doby. 3rd hit for Doby in the game. For Doby, his first double of the season. 1 out. Doby down at second, down by 2. We have Glenn to bat for the Indians. He bats from the left side. Glenn is hitless in 3 at-bats. Not much strategy here. Indians need a hit. Higgins kneeling in the on-deck circle. The Yankees lead the Indians 6-4. Glenn readying himself. Hoyt works the ball with his hand. He bangs his spike on the front side of the rubber to clear the dirt. Glenn takes his place in the box. Glances down at the plate. Leans in. Hoyt is on the slab. Checks Doby at second. Hoyt cranks it up. Swung on. Bounced toward the mound. Hoyt knocks it down. Now he has it. No play at third. He takes the out at first. Doby moves to third. Well, here we go. The Indians have 2 outs. Doby on at third, down by 2. Right-handed batter Higgins now walks out to bat. Higgins, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 trips, 1 RBI. And he scored once. Hoyt on the rubber. Eyes narrow as he peers in for the sign. Philly is in his batting stance on deck. Hoyt comes set. Looks at third. He lets one go. Higgins lifts a rainbringer, twisting down the line. Ruth is after it, tracks it near the right field line, and he grabs it for the out. For the Indians, no runs on 1 hit. They lead 1. They had a chance but could not convert. Yankees over the Indians 6-4. Narleski will now face the bottom of the Yankees lineup. Koenig, Dugan, and Hoyt coming up. Here's Koenig to lead it off. The switch hitter will go to the first base side of the box. Koenig waiting for Narleski. Narleski staring in, ready to work. He lets it go. Swung on, a blast to center. Smith runs straight back, turns and reaches, and takes it in. 1 away. We have Dugan coming up to hit. He hits from the right. Pitcher Narleski eyeing Dugan. Now he's ready. Narleski into the wind. A ringing single to center, and Dugan is on at first. Okay, pitcher point up. For New York, one out. Dugan down at first. On the season, Hoyt has managed 2 hits in 6 at-bats, including 1 in this game. Now batting .333. Earlier had his second RBI. He sacrificed once and walked once. Batter ready. Right-hander Narleski ready. Infield back at double play depth. He lets it go. Grounded deep into the hole. Strickland is over. He's got it. The long throw to first for the second out. Dugan moves up. Dugan moved quickly with the pitch. There was no chance to get 2. Here we go. Combs is stepping up to hit against Narleski. He bats left-handed. Earl is their leadoff man for New York. 2 down. Dugan on second. Earl has been up 4 times with 2 hits. 2 ribbies. Now Narleski ready. The pitch. Lifted high to left. Philly is drifting toward the line. And he hauls it in. 3 down. For the Yankees, nothing across. 1 left. The score still stands 6-4. Yankees as we head for the top of the 9th inning. Hoyt will now face the bottom of the Indians lineup. Philly, Strickland, and Narleski coming up. Philly will start it off here in the 9th. The switch hitting Dave will bat left here. He's already delivered 2 hits in the game. In the on-deck circle, Strickland taking his cuts. Hoyt is on the slab. He cranks and fires. That's batted to the right side. Gehrig fields it. And he runs to first ahead of Philly. 1 away. Base is empty. 1 away. Next up, Strickland. Hoyt sets up on the rubber again. Unlikely that Narleski will bat next. Righty against righty. Hoyt is ready to fire it in. To the plate. Hard 2 bouncer to short. Koenig covers it plenty of time. Fires. 2 down. Narleski is scheduled to hit. We'll have to wait to see if he bats for himself. Narleski coming up. Ray taking his first at bat of the season. Right-hander Hoyt ready. Indians manager McCarthy looking at his score sheet. You can mark pitcher Narleski out for the Indians. McCarthy not letting him bat. Hope will now hit for him. Bats left. He shoulders the bat. Heads to the box. Narleski pitched 2 innings. He leaves with 1 earned run on 3 hits. A homer. Hope to face Hoyt. Dave can hit. Hoyt gets set to pitch. Hoyt brings it home. That's batted to the right side. Gehrig fields it. And he outraces Hope to the bag for the do-it-yourself put-out. And that's out number 3 and the game. So the Yankees have won the ball game, spurred on by the disciplined leadership of Mack. A tight one here, fans. The Yankees sneak by the Indians 6-4. Here's the line for the Yankees. 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They leave 7 for the Indians. 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. And they leave 5. Hoyt gets the win, his second. His record now 2-0. Win takes the loss, his second. His record now 0-2.
So the Yankees gain a step.
For the Yankees,
they're on a run. Now with 4 straight wins. That's a fine start to this season.
For the Yankees,
overall, they now stand at 4-0. With this win, they move into undisputed first place. The
Indians,
overall,
1-3.
In the next game, they'll go after the
Indians
again.
And this game is in the books. This is WAPBA and Ernie Harwell saying so long from New York. Yankees take this one from the Indians, 6-4.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping in. This was fun, yeah? Had a little bit of baseball chat. We can hang out for a little bit. Hey, hey, hey. There's JT Dutch. How you doing, JT? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we got a good gang in here tonight. So yeah, doing a lot of talking about the what's going on with baseball games and stuff like that. And I mean, there's things that APA could do if it wanted to, but I just don't see it happening. And the one thing, yeah, late again. Nah, you're not late. That was just a game for a while, and I thought I'd pop on. Maybe I don't know. Maybe do something on this one. So that I mean, APA's not going to do it, but if it really wanted to make some money, I mean, this thing right now is out of the park 24. The out of the park franchise is doing so much to bring in people into our hobby, into text-based baseball sims. Is doing it. I mean, they're tarting up the graphics. It's a deep game. But APA is, I mean, as the same as Strat, I think, they've got their customer base, but this company's smarter, and the same with Mark at Digital Diamond, bringing in, being on Steam as well, exposure. You got to pay a chunk of change to Steam, but the world's largest game distribution platform, it's hard to beat. But it would be fun. If I was running APA, yeah, I mean, if you had the money, running APA, get a broadcaster, tart it up nice, real nice opening screens, the whole thing. Wouldn't even have to be that much. It's not like Digital Diamond is super sexy looking, and you're off to the races. I mean, there's going to be more people that down the road. I think they're going to know more about Digital Diamond than they are about APA or Strat. Um, because I mean, there is, on Steam, you're getting not only the baseball geeks like us that are pretty hardcore, but they're getting more players, and I mean they've got deep pockets. Yep, MLB or Out of the Park has they're the only text baseball sim that has the MLB license, so they're in rarefied company with MLB The Show in terms of MLB licensing. That was a coup de grace, and they're not going to do anything to lose that. Um, yeah, it does. I mean, I don't. I agree with you, JT Dutch. I don't play it as a general manager, but you're absolutely right. I mean, it does do that. I mean, in a way, it's to its detriment that they don't push the fact a little bit harder that it's just a fine game just to field manage on its own. But yeah, it really does. And you've got the whole Moneyball thing. So, Out of the Park plays to that very well. I mean, Action PC has salaries and stuff, but it doesn't do any of the things that Out of the Park does for that, which I don't play with that part of Out of the Park, but well, EA is the evil empire. They are. You guys know that Clay Dresloff was one of the developers for Old Time Baseball. And that's a fun game. It's not terribly accurate. It's got issues, but for its time, it was brilliant, you know. But no switch hitters in there, and the off-the-wall singles. They're a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's still a wonderful game and fond memories of it. And it's fun to fire it up from time to time. That would be nice if they did it, Todd. Todd's asking if he wonders if Major League Baseball would ever funnel in money to help Out of the Park move forward. So MLB The Show type graphics and pay for programmers. That would be nice, but yeah, it was JT Dutch. So Old Time Baseball actually originally was an expansion disc, if you were. So what we think of now as DLC, it was just an expansion with all those old seasons, and then he decided to market it as its own product. Of course, kind of breaks immersion a little bit when you see players from 1912 wearing batting helmets and stuff. But the ballparks are great, and while the play-by-play isn't at the level of the voice broadcasting as baseball for Windows, it's still a lot of fun. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus and company aren't wouldn't work for a broadcaster. I think that, in fact, a lot of times, when I've talked about adding that to this, like on the Out of Park forums, saying, "Hey, why can't they do something like baseball for Windows?" There's a lot of players that it'd be perfect, and it would be. Oh my God, it would be the it would be our version of MLB The Show for those of us that don't play Twitch baseball games or whatever. It'd be amazing. Get those graphics up there and get a broadcaster, and I think they can do it. Because the company that bought Out of the Park Baseball has got super, super deep pockets. So it was, yeah. And Earl Weaver Baseball. I've been saying, you guys, and I will do it. We're gonna have a nice night. We're gonna do a real blast from the past, and we're gonna go back and visit Micro League Baseball, both Earl Weaver games, um, the Hardball series, all those games. We're gonna go back and visit them. Really looking forward to that. Geez, I mean, going back to like Earl Weaver Baseball, I remember having that one on the Amiga, and with the the Stephen Hawking voice and stuff like that. It was fun. Yep. And in Micro League, JT, how Micro League did that, especially in the Commodore 64, how they squeezed all that in is amazing. By the way, JT, what we did is, because there were some issues over the weekend and stuff, that people getting a little bit cranky and things like that, we went ahead and we simmed out this iteration of Howie Shanks League. So um, we're working on some things. We're going to redo it. There's going to be a new draft, but the draft, the way it's going to be done, MV came up with a great way to do it. So the draft should take one night and no longer than about 2 hours. So I think you're in our Discord. If not, it'd be nice if you join. There's going to be a little thing up there for everybody to check out. Um, just kind of some league rules and stuff. I mean, one of the mistakes that we made was not kind of putting in the rule that we had for managers in the Ned McGreevy League, and that made this past weekend some people were giving the other two broadcasters, so MV and Steve Tate, were kind of getting a little bit of not so kind treatment, and so we just decided today we simmed it out completely, and so we'll keep you up to date with what's going on as best we can. So no, I understand that it's it's gonna be very, very different. It's gonna take a little bit to set it back up again, but it's gonna be really a lot of fun, and it's not gonna be yeah. It definitely had issues, and it's like we talked about today. It was a learning experience, and it's moving forward. So, geez, I have one friend who has Out of the Park Baseball on the wish list. Schneeve. Okay, just buy it, Schneeve. Buy the damn game. Todd says he won. Yeah, Todd B, whose idea the league was, won everything. Um, I still have the league is in there, but all the players are released now. So, but I mean, JT, if you want, Steve uploaded the latest file before we played this out. So the latest file is on there if you just want to go grab it and install it in Action PC and play it. Boy, I see Al is beating me here, and he's got seven more hours of Out of the Park than I do right now. Yep, exactly, exactly. No, I agree. And it got nasty. I wasn't on here for 2 days, and so this morning I'm like, oh well, I'm going to catch up on the action before I do a game, and what I saw was not good. I'm like, no, 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 no. So that won't happen again. That crap happens, just gone. You know. So hopefully, you reconsider. But if not, hey, we just love the fact that you hang out. Super knowledgeable baseball fan, and good guy. And we do want to, I mean, some people's feelings were hurt. I mean, and they felt really badly because they were getting some serious whiny bullshit from people, and that wasn't the idea of this. So that will be something that will not rear its ugly head again. But we're gonna take our time and get it right, or as close to right as we can. There's still going to be mistakes, but some smack talk and everything. That's natural. I mean, but what was going on there was just nastiness. So taking advantage of people's goodwill and stuff like that. So I do appreciate where you're coming from. But Todd's idea is fantastic, and we're just not going to let it, crumble to dust. We're just going to redo it with proper guidelines and some rules. I mean, I hate to use that word rules, but we definitely need them. Whining does not. Absolutely. Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I mean, I can understand it to a point, but it's the AI, and bitching at Steve or bitching at MV accomplish nothing except making them both putting and MV, and Steve both trying to handle it with grace, but that was just not cool. So that'll be done with. So they're gonna broadcast games. We're still gonna do it over 3 channels. It's really a great idea that Todd had, and it's we've got to just go forward with it and make it right. So, but the way we're gonna do the draft is gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna take 5 minutes per round once the picks start. So basically, how we're doing it, everybody, every manager will be assigned right an order in the draft. They'll be drawn randomly, and then basically it's gonna be like manager number one, 1885, blah 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 blah, and then the clock starts now. And at the end of 5 minutes, right, everybody has 5 minutes to get their picks in, and Big Clue will be doing it. Same rules as far as Hall of Famers and stuff. And we're just gonna go from there. And I think everybody understands that what happened over the weekend, both with Steve, or Steve's broadcast and MV's broadcast, was uncalled for, and everybody seems to be on board with. And I know Mike was disappointed and everything, but we had to stop it, or it would have just, you know, we were just in the opening weekend, and had we let it continue and just tried to do the whole kumbaya movement moments, just wouldn't have worked. Yes, it's just a bad idea to antagonize the guys who've done yeoman's work in this, especially when they don't have anything to do with a game's given flaws or whatever. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I mean, the work, you know, and I mean, so many people have done so much work on this, but I mean, just to focus on Steve Tate, I was going to set up this whole thing, the whole damn thing, you know, and Steve just jumped and said, "Nope, I'll do it. I'm going to do this," and did the logos, except for the league logo, but he did everybody's logos, set up the park, did it all, took that time. I mean, imagine, because to be able to do what we did, you have to have every season, which I have, MV has, Steve has, Big Clue has. But for Steve to take that time and do it, and then you add in the fact, the work that he did in the 5-year league files, the Negro League files, and for him to be treated like that was not cool. And then MV, one of the gentlest guys in this community, his love, passion for baseball and everything, and to be treated like that was not cool. And it's going to take a lot if that person, who's whining and bitching, wants to kind of hang out again. It's going to take a bit, because that just wasn't right. It's just not right, and I don't think that person is going to be allowed back in that league. It's just not going to happen. I'm not letting that happen. Some people might call me a fascist for it, but I'm had too many run-ins with him, and I'm just done with it. I'm really done with it. Yeah, Steve and Big Clue went. I mean, yeah, I mean, oh my God, Steve Clue with or Big Clue and that the 3 or 4 draft nights, whatever we had, all his suggestions and going back to his work. Big Clue getting those files to Steve Tate, those major league equivalencies for the Negro League, project that's still in the works. Um, yeah, just not gonna have it. Just not gonna have it. And these two guys, and both of them kind of new to doing YouTube broadcasting as well, and then they felt compelled out of the goodness of their hearts, and this is what really pissed me off. Out of the goodness of their heart, trying to manage, or suggest, and it wasn't really appreciated by people. And there's not just one person, by the way, that why this all came down, and so that's just intolerable. It's a game. It's just a game. Yep, D. Scott Howard singing some Beatles there. It's getting better all the time. It can't get no worse. That's what Paul McCartney, right? McCartney added to that. But yeah, we would have paid money for that from Action PC. But it's good stuff. But as much as the Grunyards don't like it, and this guy here, this little sim here is the king now. And it is, Robbie, talking about your concerns, and I love baseball for Windows, as you do. I don't, well, no one loves it as much as you do. But, I mean, the older companies are going to have to, they have to see the writing on the wall. This is where it's going, and people for Strat, and I'm not knocking the game if Tim is still here. I'm not knocking the game, but people could play something like this, or even Action PC, or they can play something that looks like it's from the 1990s and a bad 1990s interface. They're going to choose this all the time, every time. And as Todd said, yes, older people set in their ways. That's all right, but not all older people are, or whatever. But you have to bring new players into your game or go bust. And Out of the Park's doing it the right way. Slick videos, play what the pros play and all that kind of stuff. And they've got a good product to back it up. Is it perfect? No. I haven't seen a perfect baseball sim yet. Yep, they're going to age out eventually, Pib 99. Yeah, it is going to happen. I mean, here we have Clee, Clee baseball fan, Tim and I suspect he and I might be a little bit older than he is, but if you look at Strat and Appa, we're probably like on the younger end of the demographic that's playing those games. But I don't imagine there's a lot of 20 somethings. I don't think Tim's a 20 something. I'd be like way off if he is. But even so, then Tim would be the a real outlier if it were. And again, not knocking Tim and not knocking Strat. And Appa is no better. Appa is no better. Their game, might be the interface might be a little cleaner, but it's confusing too. And they're still offering everything by disc. At least Strat realized, hey, yeah, there's not DVDs in computers anymore. Whatever. Ernie Harwell has the Vin Scully effect, says JT Dutch is such a relaxing broadcasting style that he falls asleep sometimes, and he means that in the best way possible. Yeah. The old broadcasters did it. They did it right. And that's why I think John Miller is the last one that if Out of the Park Baseball or if Appa would want to actually, add or have somebody just have John Miller do from 1988 to now. It'd be brilliant. You could pick from John Miller or Ernie Harwell. I'd love it. Oh, I still do. I'll put on a game if I'm working on like a particularly difficult, slight or something, and with Magic. I'll have an Ernie game in the background, or sometimes just stretch out and just listen to Ernie. It was like listening to to me and to those of us. And Robbie, you are probably one of the younger ones. But for many of us, right, it does bring back listening to baseball on a summer's night, or falling asleep to baseball or whatever. It is that. I love it. It's like music. In fact, my not the girlfriend I'm with now, but my ex, I was at her house one night and playing it. She said, "Oh my God," she said, "that's so relaxing." She said, "I can see how you could just totally just chill out to something like that." In fact, we both did. She was like cooking and I'm playing Ernie and she's like getting caught up in the game. Oh yeah, fell asleep to Vin Scully many times. Great memories. Yep. Yeah. Todd says, "I bet there are a few under 40 playing either of those games, App and Strat," and you'd be right. I think you'd be right. I'd say lower end would be, maybe upper 30s, mid to upper 30s, probably. I don't imagine a lot of 20 somethings playing it, but this thing's getting a lot of love. And again, this is even struggling because for the 20 somethings that want to play baseball, MLB The Show, but you can tell Out of the Park is really trying to push in that demographic and kind of saying, hey, look, you know, there's another alternative. And the fact that you actually don't have to play MLB The Show as a Twitch game is good. So these two, I think those two rule the roost. Too bad a Strat fallen behind with presentations as much as they have because it's a great system. It is a great system. Strat is a great game. And Appa's a great game, but these companies are misguided, and it's frustrating to me to see them. It's like, look, there's gold in them, their hills, even in this niche hobby, because they have the cachet of their names, right? One's been around for what, 71 years, the other one for 61 years, right? Appa's 10 years older. They could do it. Just do it. Suck it up and do it. But yeah, that you're right, Pib. That is a bygone era. Man, I remember like not maybe not I mean not as far back as maybe some folks in here like, cousin Ken, but I mean I remember looking in the baseball magazines and and seeing all these games, Appa and Strat and Pursue the Pennant and it's like, wow, man, love to have that. And I mean it's too bad because these kids are missing they're missing great games. They are. But you're not going to be able to market to these kids. To try to market this to millennials and what's the new one now called Gen Z or something. I don't know, right? I mean, Gen Xers absolutely, but after that, I don't see it. I just don't see a millennial saying, "Oh, I just like." So Tim was saying earlier here, right? I mean, he ordered the 1997 and 98 seasons from Strat, and I think that's awesome. But I can't imagine a 19-year-old getting excited about ordering the 1997 and 98 seasons from Stratomatic Baseball. And to Robbie, yeah, I mean, can you really imagine a 19-year-old out there saying, "Ooh, this is great. I just picked up this Hall of Fame disc for Baseball for Windows." Holy shit. The people here that know Baseball for Windows didn't even realize it's still available. So that tells you how crappy Appa's marketing is. Street and Smiths. I love Street and Smiths. Street and Smiths is good. You'd see the ad and have to send in for the brochure. And only then could you send away for the game. See, I don't remember that. I just remember you could, well, of course, by then, too, the games were in gaming stores. So you could go into, the same place where you're buying. And I don't know if you guys had this experience, but the place where I used to buy Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering card stuff and all that had they had Stratomatic baseball there. It was brilliant. It was like boom, you win, you picked up Strat. Bought Status Pro baseball at the Comic Swap. Remember, it's called the Comic Swap, and you know, amidst all the Warhammer and everything else like that, there was Status Pro baseball. There was Stratomatic. I don't ever remember seeing APBA in gaming stores, but I saw Strat and Status Pro, and I think a couple others. D. Scott says it was a tough choice between Strat and Appa back when he started in 1965. Went with Strat after much discussion among friends. And JT Dutch says he never got into Appa. Nothing against the game itself, but he was so addicted to Strat and then pursued the pennant later on. So what I don't get is something that Clinton talked about like what Strat does, which is weird. So you buy a season, but then you have to pay extra to get like the sort of outlier players, and I just do not get what that's about. Oh yeah, Robbie. I mean, you should. You definitely should. You need to use your Saver membership more, but yes, you definitely are. Wanting to play these old games. I'm not going to play a game here, but I just, we're talking about these older companies. And I mean, to have this kind of thing where, I mean, look at this aggressive marketing. I just had to click through three things, right? They're marketing this aggressively, and just what you can do here, and of course in our other friend Action PC Baseball. And Action PC Baseball doesn't have the flash and the glitz of this game, but I would imagine that the Action PC community that's a strong community, and these two games are at least in the digital market are going to eclipse Appa and Strat. They really are. Because yeah, I mean just the writing's on the wall, and Appa and Strat just doesn't see it, and there it is. It's right there on my little screen. Strat came with 20 players back in the day. No extras were even offered at first. Wow. I mean, my God, with this, you just a click of a button, and I mean, you're getting nice graphics, the whole thing. You pick a World Series, or you can pick any two teams from history, or up to 70 teams. Create a tournament, do what you want, and that's nice. And that's hard to do. You can't do that in Appa. You can't do that in Strat. And now I'm just talking about the digital games, not the cards and dice games. It's not fair to compare cards and dice and digital. I mean, imagine trying to do something like the Howie Shanks League in cards and dice. You would have to have everything, and I couldn't even imagine like the financial outlay to get every season in those games. That's got to be nuts. Strat doesn't even offer every season in their cards and dice. They do in their digital game, but whatever. Go back to the main screen. You know, okay, I'm going to dismiss these messages. I've proven my point now. My God, you can even just play right along. Play with the real 2023 season if you wanted to. I don't. Create your own baseball world. It's all right there. The quick starts that come with it, which I don't really care about those. And then this side, perfect team. I'm not interested in that, but it's there, and it's cash for them. It's nice. So you get all of baseball history with the game, but then you can also do this too. It's smart. It's savvy, man. The sandbox mode. If you want to have a league in like Ecuador, you can have a wonderful little league. You can. You can play the Negro Leagues right out of the rip here. You can play minor leagues. You want to go back and play the Pacific Coast League as Robbie was doing for a little bit in Diamond Mine Baseball. It's in here. Just play it. Do it. Set it up and play the Pacific Coast League, and see DiMaggio and Ted Williams, whatever. See these guys playing in the PCL if you're into minor league baseball. It's there. I just went to see the Harrisburg Senators the other day. Uh, and right Friday night. I mean, if I wanted to right now, if I wanted to play the Harrisburg Senators last season, I could go in here and replay Double A minor league ball. Lots of value, and then Action PC has its own value, of course, as well. Steve, we got a lot done today. Yes, Pacific. Yes, Robbie. We've said this before. I think that's you're off playing Ernie games. The Pacific Coast League's in here. It's in here. You got to dig around, but it's here. Just got to know where to look. Steve, we got a lot of work done today. I'm sure you've heard by now that the gotta be digging. Oh no, Robbie. I'm not gonna. You're gonna have to do it. I'm not gonna be going around looking for the Pacific Coast League in here. It's up to you, buddy. If you wanna play it, go for it. Dig around, have fun. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Second stream, bud. So anyhow, Steve, I'm gonna be putting out. We're gonna kind of just updating everything in the Discord. We, we simmed out the Howie Shanks League and then released the players. Um, we have a new idea for the draft. Oh, okay. I'm not sure because you said you gotta see this. So yeah, it's there. So we're gonna be doing it up, doing it right. Everybody seems very, very cool, very clear, and you're gonna love MV's idea for a draft. How we're gonna do the draft, Steve, moving forward. It's fun. So hope you had a good movie. I think the younger demographics, D. Scott, I think they probably do like the perfect team stuff. I won't touch it. It doesn't make sense to me. So, right? Because the whole blurb here is right here. Build and customize your very own perfect team. But I can do that already here. And I can play this online. If anybody has Out of the Park Baseball, you can play this head to head. So to me, why do I want to do this? Collect virtual baseball cards when I can just go in here and say, "Yep, I want this team, I want this guy, this guy, this guy," and I've got a perfect team. Or I could do it in Action PC. So yeah, perfect team. Opening virtual baseball cards just doesn't do it for me. For some, it does. Yep, I will definitely let you know. I'll let you know how the draft's going to work right now, though, Steve. Once we have the managers aboard, and there's going to be like a little manifesto, if you will, or league contract thing, whatever. And that so incoming managers will need to agree on it. It's not going to be like terribly fascist, but there's going to be a few kind of hard rules. One of them is if you can't accept that mistakes are going to be made and you feel like you're going to give the broadcaster shit, just don't get involved. Um, and if you do, you're out. You're booted, gone. Not only out of the league, but you and MV do what you want in your channels. When anybody pulls that shit, they're out of this one. They're banned. So, um, but the draft will be like this. So each manager will be assigned randomly, right? So a draft order. And then what we do is everybody's got to be on the ball, right? We're going to be manager 1, 1886, manager 2, 1894, manager 3, blah, 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 down to whatever managers. And then we say the clock starts now and 5 minutes simultaneously. We did 4 rounds today, and it worked really, really well. It worked really well. So the actual drafting will take 5 minutes per round. So that's nice. JT Dutch says he likes the card collecting setting of Perfect Team, but he's only used 3 points. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if I would, I wouldn't pay because I can build my perfect team on the other side. Although it's easier to do an Action PC baseball, but yeah, a Blood Oath might be a nice idea. But yeah, lots of good stuff. No, we're not taking your trophy away, Todd. You won it legitimately, and you won it in the tougher division too. So everyone spends the 5 minutes searching for the year. Sounds like an effect. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody at the same time, Steve, and they have to have it in by the end of 5 minutes. For the managers not in there, we also so that the whole thing can't be gamed, as Big Clue had mentioned, right? They're not under that same pressure of 5 minutes. What they will get is a message in Discord that you have to make picks and you have to come on and they've got to do the 5 minute thing. So it's not going to be like we had a few managers that had, and we're not knocking them. It's not a knock on them. We should do it right. That they had 4 or 5 days to kind of really at leisure, if you will, research StatHead and Baseball Reference and Baseball Almanac and all that stuff. So this time everybody's going to have 5 minutes. And it was a great idea. We did a mock draft, just 4 rounds, just to see how it would work out with 4 managers, and it was a charm. It was nice. Steve T says you can take that trophy and shove ... double ellipses. Yeah, great bad news bears line. Actually, you know what? I kind of like that. If you don't come in under 5 minutes or at 5 minutes, we'll choose for you. There's plenty. There's plenty. Robbie, seriously, you'd pass out the sight of blood? Really? Come on, Robbie. Just this be like a paper cut. Anyhow, so I'm hoping, Steve, that like I'm gonna draft up something, put it on Discord, have you and kind of send it to you in Big Clue, have you guys look at it, see what you think, make some amendments, and then we'll put it out there, and hopefully people will agree to it, like, and then we can just have fun. This is such a great idea, and really would like to see it really move forward. You get Mario Mendoza. We can do multiple copies of Mario Mendoza too if we want. You can copy players in Action PC Baseball. Yep. And Rob Piccolo. Yeah. So, JT Dutch, I mean, just didn't want to stay, and he, stayed in here. He also saw what happened over the weekend, and he said, values the community, and didn't want to get, a thing where people were getting nasty. So, well, Robbie, don't be. I hope you never be a surgeon then. Oh well. Anyhow, so Robert Pinnell, who came in earlier, been a while since he's been in the channel, and he said he's trying to figure out what I'm trying to figure out too, and I'm thinking about having a broadcast some night, and so you guys can give me an idea for a project to do on here, because right now all I have is the KCCL and trying to re-ramp up Howie Shanks 2.0, but kind of struggling with figuring out exactly what I want to do. Maybe I need Robbie Wartburg to give me like 20 projects simultaneously, and I'll pick one. I'm just messing with you, Robbie. Oh yeah, Steve has another 300 cards to make. You up for that? Right. Yeah, exactly, JT Dutch. He says, I understand wanting to win, but no one in the community deserves that kind of adversarial treatment. You know what I would say? Save it for, like, go on to, wherever you are, in real Major League Baseball, and, if you want to be abusive on there, which I don't think there's ever any excuse to be abusive, but not here. This is community. This is friends. This is family. And, Steve, I'm just digging around and out of the park, and I'm hesitant to say this, but all the wonderful stuff you did with the major league equivalencies and everything, that all that stuff can be done in here too, out of the park. But I know you're. I mean, so maybe someday we'll see it. Just saying. This version is brilliant. Loving this version. They outdid themselves. Oh, she says Privit. Nice, nice. So, Aaron, did you say to her Christos Voskrese, as I asked you to earlier? And then she should have said Voistinu Voskrese. Today's Orthodox, I'll just call it Easter, for lack of a better word. So, Privit to your girlfriend. And I'm about to say Das Vidania, so... Thanks for coming in, everybody, and hanging out. And a little Ernie, a little baseball chat. Everybody happy with your... And she said, truly risen response. You can't spell it in Russian. I can, but as long as she said Voistinu Voskrese, that's cool. Nice, nice, nice. I can spell it in English, because I don't have a Cyrillic alphabet. Voistinu Voskrese is how you answer it. When somebody says Christos Voskrese, you say Voistino Voskrese. A parcel or Pascal? All right, Robbie. It is. Once again, the original name of Easter was that, Pascha. Todd B says he wants to do the basketball thing with this idea. Steve, hey, is there enough around? Oh, he is saying that there's. I know Todd B's a big basketball fan. That would be fun. You guys should do it. I would listen. I would definitely listen because I do like to catch, every once in a while when Dave Little does a basketball game. I definitely wouldn't be part of it, but I'd love to listen. Steve says, big question: do we limit the years for our league to 1894? I don't know. I like the fact that those 1880s players are kind of ringers. I mean, that's open for discussion. Certainly open for discussion. We can certainly discuss it. I mean, a lot of the structure is going to still remain the same. And I know people are like, oh my God, the 1880s players. The only thing I would ask, though, is that I know you guys are going to hate this, but I mean, I got shafted on it twice, and still, you got to suck it up, Buttercup. That 1943, 1944, and 2020 have to stay in. That would be the only thing I would insist on. As far as the other stuff, if you guys want to just go back to the beginning of modern baseball, which where's Big Clue? He's going to correct us and say it's 1893, and I will still argue it's 1894, but whatever. We could do that and just be modern baseball if you want. Open to negotiation. The other thing is managers will have 2 days after draft night, 2 days to get their team names. And we're not asking a lot. You have 2 names to get your team name, your colors, and your ballpark. 2 days. So things like that. I mean, I think that's reasonable. Todd B says he'll take 2020. Well, the only reason, JT, is it's part of baseball history. So it is there. All right, I shouldn't say insist, but I mean, I don't know. I think it should be in there. But again, I'm not going to try to be the czar of this league, but I am going to kind of conduct a little bit because it's just not saying that that makes me better than anybody else or anything, but I feel I dropped the ball, and if I would have said, okay, here's the deal, we're going to do the McGreevy managing, and that's it. Nobody gave me any flack in that entire Ned McGreevy league, and we ran through that twice. And to see MV and Steve getting the shit that they did was unacceptable. So, well, you could even argue, Robbie, although it wasn't that early. I mean, even 1918. I mean, that season ended in September, but we're including 1994, we're including 1981, and I just think 2020 should be in there. 1943, probably the darkest year for baseball in terms of the Second World War, but it's in there. But we can discuss that. That's nothing, I think, compared to the other things we got to get done. It is in the baseball record books, yep. Well, but that being said, Action PC. Now, it depends on how you guys feel about that projection thing, because Action PC does have, and I have the season. I mean, we all have it. I'm guessing that have Action PC baseball. If you bought 2020, it comes with 3 files. I, yeah, I agree. I agree. I just I mean, again, guys, it's negotiable as far as if we want to ditch 20. I think 43 and 44. I would insist they. Okay, I'm going to insist that 1943 and 44 stay in. 2020, we can have a vote about it. I think that's fine. Robbie talking about the lesser sports there, and he makes a valid point. But yeah, I mean, if we leave, so we have 1894 to 2019, and then 2021 and 22. That gives us a big size. That gives us a pretty good sample size. I'd be willing to give on that as long. I would give on that as long as you guys are cool with 1943 and 1944 remaining in. Could we maybe agree on that? Would that be cool? Since 43 and 44 they played them out. Might have been a little substandard baseball, but they played them out. So you're fine with the Warriors? Okay. All right. Then I'll acquiesce. I'll acquiesce in 2020, and we'll say yeah, okay in 19. As long as 43 and 44 can stay in, even though they were kind of All right, cool. All right, compromise, baby. I love it. I love it. I mean, besides, man, Stan Musial. I had 1944 Stan Musial. He wasn't too bad. So, or was that 43? Whatever it was. But the draft worked like it worked a treat today. It really did. And we had MV on. MV was on with us for I think 2 hours. It was brilliant. Mr. DH. I already know Steve's vote about Mr. DH. We might as well. Here we go again. And now I'm voting as an equal to not that I'm was before, but I'm vote. If I were to vote right now, I would still vote no. But that's just because I'm still not sure about batting helmets even. So no, I'm just joking about that. But no, I vote no for DH. But whatever people want is what it's going to be. I don't like the DH. So is how early we go. All right. Well, it seems like the 1880s, and the only person, or the only two people in here that are going to know 1880s baseball are Ken Castro and Clinton Parks. All right. Well, you know what? JT Dutch brings up something. How about this for a compromise, guys? Steve, you are the guru. You're a beta tester for Action PC, right? And actually, no, we can do this. Would you guys be in favor of having two leagues? Um, yeah, I know. Would you guys be in favor of having two leagues, one a quote unquote national league, the other an American league, and one has no DH and one has the DH? Would you guys be all right with that? What about a compromise in the DH? I really hate the designated hitter. D. Scott Howard says we're using the DH or playing baseball. D. Scott Howard and I we're going to be in the National League version of it. Would you guys be up for that idea? We don't have to decide it tonight. Two leagues. Steve says yes to the two leagues. JT Dutch feels that the DH league would have 22 teams and the non-DH league would have four. I hope that's not the case. I mean, we can adopt the thing that if you're the National League and you're playing in American League Park, you can do a DH. That's fine. We can do interleague play. I mean, I hate interleague play, but I'd rather if meaning that we could have one league with no DH, but we had to have interleague play, I'd be fine with that. But I'm not making the rules on that. I hate the designated hitter. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It needs to go away, but it never will. It never will. Steve Tate says, this you are if you're in the non-DH league and you draft 1976 Jim Palmer's batting average is, yeah, that's true. 2 leagues with relegation, 2 leagues with interdivision play makes it tricky. You had to bring it up, JT. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, buddy. I was hoping we would get out of this one just like, hey man, the draft was cool. We're revamping it. It's gonna be cool. And then JT drops the bomb. No, my friend, come on. This is this is a good laughter moment. Seriously, I'm not upset. It's fun. It's fun. I mean, you know me anyhow. You know I hate the DH, so you know I'm gonna be goofy about it anyhow. If the managers that come into this league say they want the DH, of course I'll happily. Whoops, forgot to turn on the DH. That's it, D. Scott. That's what we'll do. I mean, oh guys, I remember I told you how mistakes happen are gonna happen. I accidentally forgot to turn on the DH for this league. Oops. Don't be sorry, my friend. It's funny. I love it. I really don't want the DH, but I also don't want to be the guy that says no. You know, we have these American League baseball fans in here that we got to put up with. So Steve says, I view a league like this as who wants to watch a pitcher, batter, and a fun what if. Just my opinion. Plenty of strategy in the Shanks League with it. My counter always to the DH is I love that decision. It's like my pitcher is just at the borderline, or he's been pitching, or actually even better, he's been pitching a pretty good game. However, I'm within a run, or I only have a 1-run lead, or maybe it's a tie. I want to yank this pitcher who's been pitching well. With the DH, I can just like, yep, I'm going to go with somebody else. But I get both sides of it. But I still hate the DH. I don't know why. I just hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. D. Scott Howard says it would be the same about the 3-point shot in basketball. Yeah, oh, Robbie, no, the shift is not going to be a ban. There's not going to be any ban on the shifts. There's not going to be no. Oh my God, right? So it was the first time I saw it in a live game. That's how long I've been to a live game. So Friday night, right? The game I went to see, the minor league game, extra innings, and I'm sitting there. I was like, so the 10th inning starts, and there's a dude on second. I'm like, how did he get in there? I'm like, oh, that's right, that stupid rule. That that is like a non-starter, and I don't think anybody would want that. Yeah, thank God you can't have a pitch clock and app. But in fact, in out of the park baseball, you can turn off the shift ban. It's in here, but you can easily turn it off. So I think Al was doing a broadcast one night, but or wasn't doing a broadcast. I caught a stream after, and I left him a little thing. It's like, no, you can turn off the shift ban in out of the park 24. But anyhow. Bill James argued that there's more strategy with a designated hitter. Um, okay, I don't know anything about 3-point shots, so those of you, though. Steve says for basketball, action allows pre-3-point players to replicate. Tested numerous times, works well. The reason I read these comments, guys, is for people that might be masochistic enough to follow this thing all the way through. So I know everybody can read what's going on. It's only taken me almost 6 years of streaming to say why I read comments. Besides, I like the people to know they're being heard. I don't even know why they banned the shift. I mean, again, Ted Williams had no trouble with it. The shift has been around. It's as old as baseball. It's as old as baseball. It's a big deal. Ted Williams was fine with it. He knew what they were doing in the 46 World Series. And, Ted Williams was a great hitter. He could have hit to the opposite field. He didn't. He hit into the shift, and he didn't bitch about it. Yep, same here, JT. Well, see, the other thing, though, yeah, you get good hitting pitchers. Like, Bob Gibson was a pretty good hitting pitcher. So was, and Walter Johnson was a good hitting pitcher. And then what about old Haas? Well, I guess old Haas Radborn isn't going to make it into this league now if we do the year limitation. Ken Castro's not going to like the year limitation. He's not going to like it. Does Discord allow for polls? I don't know. I mean, it does here. We do. Obviously, it does here. I don't know if it does or not. It's a good question. Let's go see. And let me share the stream so that everybody can. Let's share Discord here and let's see. Everybody's saying happening opening day. See, that's back when everybody was happy. What can you do? Let's do this. Can polls be created in Discord? Hey, 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 there you go. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's not as clean cut. Yeah, but here it is, guys. So you can also create polls in Discord by using reactions or emojis. To do, simply type your question into the text input box, and then add a reaction or emoji to each potential answer you want to include. Using emojis allows you to offer multiple reaction poll to your users. So it's not as nice as Oh, here's another one. How to create a poll in Discord. Oh my God! All right, I'll turn off ad block. Jeez. Ad block is the coolest thing ever, though. So there we go. All right. Yeah. So it's emojis. So yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Create a poll in Discord using Poll Maker. Oh, this is nice. Oh, so this is just for Apple users. So Steve, you would have to do it. Because I don't have a Mac. And I think you do. Aren't you a Mac user, Steve? No, you're not. You're not a Mac user either. You're a PC user. Why did I think you were a Mac user? Never mind that. What else can we do? Pollbot. Discord's Pollbot, a free tool for creating reaction and straw polls. Pollbot website. Okay, so yeah, we can do it. All right, cool. Nice. Yeah, Steve, I don't know what made me think you were a, you don't. I don't know what made me think that you were an Apple user. Anti-Apple here too, except for Apple Records, different company. Robbie, yeah, but no, just do the emoji thing, and then that's fine. And it's one of your bots, Robbie. Yeah, right. Years ago, everyone loved Apple to stick it to the man. Now Apple is the man. Yeah, and even worse because IBM was kind of smart, and it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, but Apple, oh no, 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 they you can't engineer our systems, and so all these other people like Franklin Computers and stuff like that got sued by Apple, and Apple won. But um, God, look how much buying a Mac versus a PC now. And at one time, Mac was a thing for education, but PCs do everything they do. Even in the music world too. At one time, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to have a Mac. You got to have a Mac." Now they're creating virtual studio technology. Usually it's PC first, and sometimes PC only. So I'm talking about your women bots, Robbie. Your women bots. Remember them? Let me see. Do I want to bring her out again? Nah, I'm not gonna bring her out. I had another woman for Robbie here, but we'll wait another night to show her off. Yeah, you're stalkers. Yep, same here. I have an Android phone, Android tablet. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Steve, hope it was a good movie today. We missed you. We got on a roll. It was awesome. I wish John DFW was around more. I really, 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 really want to. We need some more channels. We need some more channels to do this up right, but we'll do it right. Is she full of air? Apple. Damn it. Apple Records and apple pie. Those are good. We also pretty much we are going to do we're doing it. We're doing a week of exhibition games, so that we can kind of we did that McGreevy. We didn't do a whole week. We did like 3 or 4 days of exhibition games. Let everything iron out the kinks, and I think it'd be good too because if we're going to do the same rule with 5 players inactive, I think playing some exhibition games, even though people could do it offline, we do some exhibition games online. People can kind of get to see how that all works out. So, and it'll give those of us broadcasting a chance to get a feel for. Because it's been, I mean, we ended McGreevy. Whenever we ended McGreevy, I haven't done this sort of, watching for the emojis and stuff. So, play exhibition games in exhibition stadium. We can do that. We can do, we can do anything we want because we are um, the Baseball Geek Central, which I do want to. I want to change the name of my channel, and I think Baseball Geek Central's got to be the one. Or we could do it as Robbie's Women. I don't know, whichever you guys are feeling. Oh, seriously, Robbie? Anyhow. Steve says, head to bed now. Looking forward to the league reset. Wonder what new folks may be interested. Hope we get some people. Get some people interested in this and understand why we had to do what we had to do. Baseball Geeks Eternally. That works because that brings in everybody. And Steve says his wife would be honored if we called it Baseball Geek Squad. All right. So for those that gonna hang around, I'm gonna do a game, and for those that don't want to, thank you. It's just I don't feel like going to. It's too early for me. I have off work tomorrow, so. And we're just gonna continue with this all-time Greats League. So yep. Hopefully we get it done, and maybe by end of the week we can have our get everything set to go. Yeah, right. Oh, Robbie, about the full of air. Robbie, you're gonna have to just Google that. Seriously, just gonna have to Google that, buddy. So, all right. Let's see what's on the major league schedule here. This Cooperstown thing, and let's see who we want to see play. White Sox Twins might be pretty good. Twins are 10-4. White Sox are 8-6. What about Robbie's Rangers? They're probably playing another one of those newfangled teams. Oh, Cubs Phillies. Let's do Cubs Phillies. Yeah, let's do Cubs Phillies. Phillies. So we're gonna act as the Chicago Cubs. Nice. All right. Docet. I wish I was a docet, Robbie, or docent actually. But the word that you're looking for, my Texas friend, is dulcet, from the Latin meaning sweet. Before electronics. And why is Lee Smith? Why don't I have a picture of Lee Smith? Yeah. Oh well. You were close again. You were close again. You definitely were. All right. Cubs, 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 Cubs. Play. Oh, this already started too. This sucks. Oh, because I have BNN turned on in the background. That's why. It's clearly not it. All right. So this is Cubs, Phillies. All-time great Cubs, all-time great Phillies. Don't know, just that the AI picked everything. Don't you dare. Ah, there we go. Ah, man. Telling you what. This game's still a little bit crashy, though. Yeah, it can be intimidating. You're absolutely right about that. But that's all right. Here we go. No, we don't want the Reds. Ah, I want to be the Cubs. All right, so we're joining this game, and it's 0-0 tie in the bottom of the third. I forgot that I have the Baseball News Network turned on in the background. So, all right, good night, Todd. Sleep well, my friend. All right, Mike Lieberthal will lead it off here in the bottom of the third for Philadelphia. No score. Chicago with 2 hits in the game. Philadelphia with 1. Lieberthal, thus far in the season, is 6 for 15 with 3 runs batted in. Claude Passot on the hill for the Cubs. He has struck out a batter in 2 innings. Here we go. Here is the wind and the delivery. Lieberthal, lazy fly ball out to right field, and camping under it is Billy Williams to make the catch. So pretty good outfield here. And this game has just crashed again. Unbelievable. All right. Never mind that. Never mind that. We'll just go to this. I don't know why out of the park. Out of the park's still a little bit crashy. It's okay. We'll just do a game in our Ken Castro Corn League. And it's going to be Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Why not? So much for out of the park tonight. Cleveland is going to be the computer. Don't know that I like Wagner leading off, though. I'm going to move this around a little bit. There we go. All right. So forget that. Forget that. All right. Now we're back home. All right, this is game 2, and the 1908 Cleveland Naps against the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. The 1908 Naps with a 1-game lead, surprising the baseball world by knocking off the 1904 New York Giants in round 1 in this dead ball 19th century tournament. Looking at the starting defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And left field, Fred Clark. In center, Tommy Leach. And right, Chief Wilson. Around the horn from first to third, Bill Abstein at first. Dots Miller at second, Hannes Wagner at short, Jack Barbeau at third. Catching is George Moon Gibson. And pitching today, Howie Kamnitz. Kamnitz in 1909 with a 1.62 earned run average, 25 wins, 6 losses, 3 saves, 283 innings pitched, 68 walks, 133 strikeouts, a whip of .972. Josh Clark leads it off for Cleveland. Clark hitting 125 in the tournament, 2 for 16 overall with 4 runs scored. At game time, here at an early Forbes field, we have 45 degrees, clear, and the winds are calm. Let's play ball. And Josh Clark sends a bouncer up the middle, dots Miller up and over with it to Bill Abstein for out number 1. And we're underway. Bill Bradley, third baseman for the Naps, 308 hitter in this playoff, in this series thing, whatever. He is 4 for 13 with a double, 2 ribbies, 3 runs scored. Kamnitz sets and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Curveball. This one bounced to second. Barbeau up with it and a throw across the diamond to retire Bradley on the 5-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down for first baseman George Stovall, having a good tournament. 5 for 14, a double, a homer, 4 runs batted in, 2 runs scored for him. Have a look at George. There he is, George Stovall. Bats righty. Kamnitz has the sign from George Gibson. The leg kick and the 0-1 delivery. This curveball tapped foul on the right-hand side. Stovall back in. 0-2 coming from Kamnitz. Stovall swings, chopper up the middle, dots Miller up with it onto Bill Abstein. 4 out, number 3. So Cleveland goes quietly in the first. And we head to the bottom of the first. Starting defense for the Cleveland Naps at first base, George Stovall. At second, Napoleon Lajoie. At short, George Perring. At third base, Bill Bradley. From left to right, Josh Clark. We have a lot of Clarks in this game, by the way. 3 of them, to be precise. Joe Birmingham and Bill Hinchman. Catching is Nig Clark. And Bob Rhodes takes the hill for Cleveland in this game. So we have Fred Clark for the Pirates, Josh Clark, and Nig Clark for the Cleveland Naps. Rhodes in 1908 had a 1.77 earned run average, 18 wins, 12 losses, 270 innings worked, walked 73, struck out 62, a whip of 1.119. Yep, we have migrated to Action PC. Out of the park got a little, is still a little bit crashy in that sort of exhibition play mode. So, yep. All right, player manager Fred Clark will lead it off here. Clark 0 for 5 in the tournament. Rhodes kicks and deals the 2-0. Change up, base hit to right field, first hit in the game, and Fred Clark is aboard for the Pirates. Pirates looking to even it up. This is a best of 5 round. And here's Hannes Wagner. Wagner is 3 for 4 in the tournament with a double, so he's hitting .750. Clark at first in 1909 with 31 stolen bases. Again, letting the computer pretty much call for both sides. I'd love to steal with Clark, but we're going to just let the computer call it. Rhodes with a check of Clark at first. Here's the 0-1. And this one gets by Nick Clark. And let's see what happens here as we have a weird glitch here. He's kind of going up the line, heading to Toledo, or heading to Lordsville, Ohio, or something. So we'll just wait. Everything getting a little bit weird here. And there he goes. I have no idea what's going on here. Don't tell me this is going to crash now, too. Unbelievable. Okay, so after all that was a pass ball. Not if you could ignore your non-just Jacob. That's simple. There we go. All right, so Wagner back in the box, and the 1-1 delivery from Rhodes to Wagner. Wagner gets the bunt down. Nick Clark pounces on it over to Nap. Lajoie covering, and Fred Clark finds himself at third base, 1 down. For second baseman, Dots Miller. He is 0 for 4. So Pittsburgh threatening. Clark 90 feet away. Rhodes fires it in, the 1-0 delivery. Miller swinging on his fastball. High pop fly in the infield as Josh Clark is ranging in, but Bill Bradley makes the call at third. 2 away for Pittsburgh here in the bottom of the first. And Tommy Leach, 2 for 4 for Leach in this tournament. Gibson waiting on deck. Rhodes from the stretch. Full count to Leach. Fastball. Leach chops this one up the middle. Lajoie has it. On to George Stovall to retire the Pittsburgh Pirates. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left. We played 1 and we are scoreless. Napoleon Lajoie, who tore it up in the Ned McGreevy League, will lead it off. Bill Hinchman and Nick Clark. Lajoie, as you would expect, he is 7 for 15, 467 average. 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored for Lajoie. Kamnitz deals the 2-1. Lajoie swings in his curveball, slap to third. Barbeau up with it, and over to Absent to retire the very rapid Napoleon Lajoie for 1 down. Right fielder Bill Hinchman. Hinchman 4 for 14. Triple, 3 runs batted in, a run scored for Hinchman. He's made some nice plays in right field for the Naps in the first round against the New York Giants. And the 0-1, Hinchman sends this to center field. Leach going back on it and making a nice running catch. 2 away here for Nick Clark. He is 0 for 12. So looking for his first hit. The 0-2. Clark sends this to right field into foul territory, giving chase is Chief Wilson, and that won't get out of play. So 2 out, nobody on. The 0-2 delivery from Howie Kamnitz. Oh, actually, they changed it here to a 3-2. Another thing Dave's got to work on, you've got to watch both. It'll say 0-2 up here, but it'll be the 3-2 pitch down here. All right, so Nick Clark aboard. 6 steals for him, and here's center fielder Joe Birmingham. 0 for 14. Kamnitz throws over. Clark is caught napping. So picked off by Howie Kamnitz. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second, and we're scoreless. T. Scott Howard talking about chasing the fire truck. And actually, if we were playing the 1900 Pittsburgh Pirates, we'd be seeing Rube Waddell. He pitched for the Pirates. I believe he was with them in 1901 and 1902 as well. I know 1901. Or 1900, I'm sorry. I think Waddell jumped to the American League in 1901. So Gibson, 265 hitter in the season, but he is 0 for 3. Again, the Pirates getting a bye in the first round. Rhodes sets and fires. Here's the 0-2. Gibson swings in this curveball, well hit to center, but Joe Birmingham making a good catch. It's a big ballpark here, Forbes. In the Oakland section of Pittsburgh. Chief Wilson, nothing for 4. Rhodes fires it in. The 0-2 count. Fly ball deep to left. Josh Clark gets it at the wall. 2 away. Pirates making some contact, but just very loud outs. First baseman Bill Abstein, nothing for 3. Rhodes with the 0-2 changeup, chopped back to Rhodes. Rhodes to his right, fires onto George Stovall for the 1-3 putout to retire the side. The Buccos go quietly, and we go to the top of the third inning. No score, as Joe Birmingham, George Perring will start the festivities here. Joe Birmingham is 0 for 14, so gets another shot as Nick Clark, was caught napping at first, back in the second. Gibson sets the target, Howie Kamnitz into his wind. Birmingham swings in the first pitch, fly ball to shallow center, and coming in on it is Tommy Leach for out number 1. George Perring, 2 for 13. He has a run scored. Kamnitz delivers the payoff pitch to Perring. Perring, grounder to short. Wagner diving, stop, and the throw on, and plenty of time to Bill Abstein. So Hannes Wagner showing that greatness out there. 2 up, 2 down, and I see just 3 of us watching. The hardcores are here. And that's all good. Here's Bob Rhodes. Nothing for 3. He was a .222 hitter for the Naps in 1908 with 4 runs batted in and 6 runs scored. Kamnitz into the wind in the 2-2, and a swing and a miss by Rhodes, and Kamnitz picks up the strikeout. Cleveland goes in order. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. No score at Forbes Field. Jap Barbeau, Howie Kamnitz, and Fred Clark due up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Barbeau 1 for 4 with a double in the tournament. Bob Rhodes has neither struck out nor walked a batter in the playoffs. In this tournament, he has 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Rhodes fires it in. The 3-0 delivery. Barbeau lays off, and this one low and inside. So Jap Barbeau aboard 19 steals in 1909. Howie Kamnitz making his first plate appearance. Stovall in at first, Bradley in at 3rd. Cleveland looking bunt here, pretty obviously. Rhodes deals, throws over, and Barbeau is picked off. Jap Barbeau leaning, gets back, but a close call, but the good tag by Stovall and good move by Rhodes. Erases the runner, so bases empty. And the 1-1 to Kamnitz. Kamnitz liner to left and right into the glove of Josh Clark. So 2 up and 2 down, really, for Fred Clark now back at the top of the order. Clark has the only hit in this game, singled back in the 1st. Rhodes deals the 1-1. Fred Clark chopper up the line at first. Stovall to Rhodes covering to retire the Pittsburgh Pirates. We go to the 4th, and we are scoreless. Back at the top of the order for the Cleveland Naps and Josh Clark. Clark nothing for 1. The left fielder grounded to second back in the 1st. Gibson sets the target, and Kamnitz toes the rubber, and base hit for Josh Clark. So that will end the brief no-hitter for Howie Kamnitz. Cleveland with a runner on. Josh Clark with 37 steals in 1908, and brings up 3rd baseman Bill Bradley, who grounded to 3rd back in the 1st. Kamnitz deals, throws over. Clark is picked off. We have had 3 players caught napping in this game. So Bill Bradley now batting with the bases empty. So these pitchers on the ball today. Bradley in the box. Kamnitz with the 1-1. Bradley lines it to center, and Leach plays it on the hop. Wait, Leach can't, yep. By the time Leach has the ball, kind of short hopped him. Bradley makes it into second, so 1-out double, and that's the 2nd hit for Cleveland. George Stovall steps in the box. Bill Bradley at second with 18 steals in 1908. Stovall nothing for 1, grounded to second. Kamnitz peers over his right shoulder, checks Bradley, who has some speed. Decent lead off 1st. Miller shading him a little bit. Deals to Stovall. Count even, the 2-2. Base hit into left. This will be extra bases. It's going to score Bradley. Stovall going for second. As Bradley continues to score, Stovall going for 3. The throw from Wilson will hit cutoff man Hannes Wagner. And the 1908 Cleveland Naps with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 4th. Napoleon Lajoie is nothing for 1, grounded to 3rd back in the 2nd. Kamnitz from the stretch to Lajoie. The count even to Lajoie. Fastball chopped to 3rd. Barbeau has it. Barbeau's going to go to 1st, and Stovall will score. So Lajoie picking up an RBI, and it's now 2-0 Cleveland. Cleveland, the only team in this entire tournament not to have won any sort of championship. And knocking off the New York Giants, and 1-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 2nd round. Bill Hinchman is nothing for 1, fly to deep right center. 2 in for Cleveland here in the 4th. Kamnitz deals the 1-0. Hinchman base hit right field. Wilson and Leach converging. Wilson getting to the ball, firing it into second baseman Dots Miller to hold Hinchman to a single. 2 down. Nick Clark, who was caught napping last time, walked in the second. Bill Hinchman with 9 steals. Leads off first. Kamnitz checks the runner. The 2-1 to Nick Clark. Little spitball. Clark golfs this one into foul territory on the first base side. The count 2-2 now on Clark. Here it comes from him. And Nick Clark lays off, and Howie Kamnitz walks Nick Clark for the second time in this game. So 2 on, 2 out. Hinchman at second, Clark at first. Joe Birmingham was nothing for 1. Fly to shallow center back in the third. Gibson sets the target, and Kamnitz with the leg kick and the 0-1 delivery to Birmingham. Curveball. Birmingham smacks this one to first. Abstein will take it to the bag unassisted to retire the side. But Cleveland picks up 2 runs, 4 hits. There were no errors, 2 left, and after 3.5, it's the Cleveland Naps 2 and the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. And due up for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Hannes Wagner, Dots Miller, and Tommy Leach. Wagner in the box now. Rhodes fires it into the Flying Dutchman. Wagner swings, bounding ball to third. Bradley cannot hold on to it. The E5, and the Flying Dutchman is on at first. Dots Miller steps to the plate, nothing for 1. Pop to third in the first. Wagner with an aggressive lead. Rhodes checks the runner. The 2-0 delivery. And there goes Wagner. Nick Clark guns it down, and Wagner is safe, picking up the steal. So Hannes Wagner now in scoring position. Pirates threatening to cut this Cleveland lead in half. Here's the 2-1 now to Dots Miller. And Rhodes missing. This one ball 4 high, and the Buccos with 2 aboard. Tommy Leach, nothing for 1. Tommy Leach in 1909, a 261 hitter, and he's 2 for 5 overall in this tournament. Leach last time grounded to second. Clark sets the target. Cleveland looking for a double play here. Leach swinging on the first ball. It's a bunt. Clark is going to go to Perrin covering third, and they're going to cut down the lead runner. So Wagner out at third on the play. And Dots Miller at second, Leach at first. So good heads-up play there by Nick Clark to get the lead runner. Gibson now, George Gibson, nothing for 1. The Buccos with 2 on, 1 down, 2-0 Cleveland lead. Here's the delivery from Bob Rhodes, the 1-1 pitch, and this one solidly stroked to left by Gibson, and that's going to be a 2 RBI double. Gibson's going for 3. He slides, and he is safe. So a 2 RBI triple for Moon Gibson, and the Pirates tie it up here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2. Chief Wilson is nothing for 1. Fly deep down the left field line. Rhodes from the stretch, the 1-1 to Chief Wilson. Shallow fly ball to center. Birmingham running in, making the catch. Gibson will tag the throw to the plate, and Gibson is safe, and the Bucks take a 3-2 lead here in the 4th. So bases empty, 2 down. The Pirates plate 3 here, and that brings up Bill Abstein, who's nothing for 1. Grounded to Rhodes back in the second. Clark sets the target. Bob Rhodes with the 0-2. Spitball, Abstein, hard grounder to third. Plenty of time for Bill Bradley to throw into George Stonewall to retire the Pirates. However, 3 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 4 in the books. It's the Pirates 3 and the Naps 2. George Perrin will lead it off, followed by Bob Rhodes, and then Josh Clark. The Naps shortstop is nothing for 1, grounded to Wagner back in the third. Gibson sets, Kamnitz delivers the 1-1. Little changeup, hard comebacker to Kamnitz. Kamnitz off the hill to his right and fires it on to Bill Abstein for the 1-3 putout. 1 away for Bob Rhodes. The pitcher struck out against Kamnitz. That's the only strikeout Howie Kamnitz has in the game thus far, to accompany the 2 walks. Kamnitz fires it into Rhodes. The 0-2 chop and ground ball to first. Abstein takes it unassisted. So 2 Naps up, 2 Naps down. And here's Josh Clark. The left fielder singled back in the fourth. Kamnitz fires it in, the 0-1. Curveball, slow grounder to Wagner at short. Wagner's got to hurry. And they do just get Josh Clark. Nice play by Hannes Wagner. So side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Pittsburgh 3, Cleveland 2. Chap Barbeau will lead it off here for the Pirates. The Bucko third baseman walked in the third. Rhodes brings it home. The 1-1 fastball. Barbeau slaps it to third. Bradley up with it. And onto Stovall. And they get Barbeau by about 10 feet. One down. Pitcher Howie Kamnitz line to left in the third. Kamnitz digging in on the right-hand side. Cleveland battery ready. Here's the 1-1 Rhodes delivery. Fastball. Hard ground ball again to Bradley. And once again, almost a carbon copy of the Barbeau 5-3 put out. Two down for the Bucks as we swing around to the top of the order. And left fielder, player manager Fred Clark. He is singled and grounded to first. Rhodes deals the 2-1 pitch. Fred Clark. Clark bounding ball up the middle. Lajoie covering a lot of ground and making the nice barehanded retrieval and fired on to the first. And that does it. 5 in the books here in Pittsburgh. And it's 3-2 in favor of the Pirates. Bill Bradley, George Stovall, and Napoleon Lajoie. The number 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Nabs now. Bill Bradley doubled back in the fourth. That would lead eventually to a 2-run inning for the Nabs. The Pirates answered with 3 in the bottom of the fourth, and that's your scoring. Kamnitz with the 2-2. Bradley looks at a called strike 3, so Kamnitz picking up strikeout number 2, and that brings up George Stovall, sporting a 1 for 2. RBI triple, scoring Bill Bradley back in the fourth. And that put Cleveland ahead at that point, 1-0. Kamnitz sets and fires the 1-2 pitch. Stovall could not get it. He got just a little piece of that fastball. Gibson holds on to it, so that's strikeout number 3 for Kamnitz. 2 away here in the sixth. Game moving along at a nice clip. Napoleon Lajoie has himself an RBI. Stovall scored back in the fourth. Lajoie grounding out. Kamnitz winds and fires the 2-1. Lajoie swings. Bounding ball to second. Miller's got to hurry. Gets it onto Abstein. And that will retire Lajoie in the side. Bottom of the sixth, no change. It's 3-2 in favor of Pittsburgh. Thank you for the few of you hanging out here. Catching a little bit of dead ball action as Out of the Park decided to not behave itself. And here's Hannes Wagner, 0-1. So he sacrificed back in the first and was safe on a throwing error in the fourth. Bob Rhodes for Cleveland, no strikeouts, 2 walks in the game. Rhodes brings it home, the 1-0. Wagner, clean base hit to right field. Bill Hinchman up with it. And Wagner is aboard. Bill Bradley in a little bit of third, looking for a possible bunt by second baseman Dodds Miller. He has popped to third and walked. Rhodes checks Wagner in first. Here's the pitch. There goes Wagner. Liner to Lajoie. They throw back and they get Wagner. He is doubled up. So 2 away. Out of the Park just wanted the extra sleep. What I'm suspecting is going on, the only crashes I'm seeing Out of the Park is using a Cooperstown League, which that was imported from Out of the Park 22 into 23 and then 23 into 24. And I have a suspicion that's what's going on because it hasn't crashed when I'm doing other things. But I just can't think, Robbie, of any project that I want to get started in Out of the Park baseball. So I thought it was fun to just mess around with that old-time franchise league. But I got a feeling that file is just probably shouldn't be in Out of the Park 24. I've got to look for an updated one or make one. Who knows? I don't think that's the one that came with the game. I'm not sure. No, it's not. Actually, it's not. All right, Tommy Leach is 0-for-2 with 2 down. Rhodes fires it in. Here's the 0-1. Leach swings, bounding ball to George Herring. This one to George Herring. This is routine. 6-3 put out. The Bucks are retired. We go to the 7th. The Pirates holding on to a 3-2 lead. Bill Hinchman, Nick Clark, and Joe Birmingham due up for the 1908 Naps. So Hinchman has flied out and singled. Howie Kamnitz has struck out 3, walked 2. Kamnitz into his motion. The 1-1. Fly ball to left. Fred Clark over toward the foul line. Makes the catch in left field for out number 1. Yeah, there is an all-time great quit start. The reason I don't like the one that came with out of the park baseball is they've duplicated players. And like I was looking at the Pirates, and they have like Jason Bay as one of the all-time great Pirates, and they left Ernie Banks off of the Cubs, so I don't even use their all-time greats franchise league. That's why somebody did the Cooperstown one, but I need to find if there's an updated Cooperstown, because that's the only time Out of the Park has been crashing on me, is using that file. So here's Nick Clark. He's walked twice. Kamnitz fires it in. The 0-1 to Clark. Fastball, and this one smacked to right field. Wilson up with it. Not in time, though, as Clark gets in with a 1-out double. So the tying run in scoring position for Cleveland with 1 away, and center fielder Joe Birmingham. 0-for-2. Gibson sets. Kamnitz fires the 1-2 to Birmingham. And big swing and a miss. So 2 up, or 2 away, I should say. Not 2 up, 2 down, but 2 away. A runner in scoring position for shortstop George Herring. He's grounded out twice. Kamnitz looking to stop the tying run. Here's the 1-0 to Herring. Fastball chopped up the middle. Dots Miller. Nice play to his right onto Bill Abstein. And Cleveland has turned it away. Middle of the 7th. Pittsburgh 3, Cleveland 2. Yeah, so do I, Robbie. Yeah, in fact, after this game, and after I close down this broadcast, I'm actually going to go a searching out there. I'm hoping that the Cooperstown one, and if not, maybe that'll be a fun project for me to do, is create an all-time franchise league. Now, since Howie Shanks is, we're waiting to reboot to 2.0, so maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Or I might do a season replay. Oh my God. It'll be the first one in forever. All right, Moon Gibson will lead it off here for the Bucks in the bottom of the 7th, followed by Chief Wilson and Bill Abstein. So Gibson, RBI triple, big RBI triple in the 4th, scoring Dots Miller and Tommy Leach that tied the game for the Bucks. Rhodes with the 2-1 delivery. Gibson swings, long fly ball, but Hinchman gets it just in front of the bleachers. So 1 away for Chief Wilson. By the way, I love the Super Stats replay feature in Out of the Park 24. That's brilliant. Love showing those. Chief Wilson gave Pittsburgh the lead, a sacrifice, scoring Gibson back in the 4th. And his first time up, he flied out. So 1 away as Rhodes fires it in. The 3-1 curveball. Wilson sends a long fly ball to right field, but Hinchman has it. 2 away. Oh, yeah. And I mean, there's the iconic games, Robbie. There's a lot I could do. I just can't decide. I don't like to get a lot of projects going, as you know. So, I mean, I still have the MV Tigers Mets thing to do to finish up, and yeah, I could do another World Series, and But I want something sort of long-term to go along with the Howie Shanks League to kind of break things up a little bit, because we're artificially extending the KCCL, you know, to because it was what we're playing right now, waiting for you know, Ken to recover. So yeah, I really don't have anything going on. I got to think of something. Having brain lock, man, brain lock. Bill Abstein is nothing for 2. He is grounded out twice. Rhodes with the 0-2 swung on, and this one bounced, room service bounced to Napoleon Lajoie, and the Bucks are done in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Pittsburgh 3, Cleveland 2. Pittsburgh looking to even up this series. Bob Rhodes, Josh Clark, and Bill Bradley for the 1908 Naps. Howie Kamnitz is fan 4 and walk 2. Rhodes 0 for 2. That's action PC though, Robbie. That's not, that and out of the park would be an insane amount of work, and I'd rather wait and do that for Howie Shanks 2.0. And actually that's a big thing in action PC as well, because each of the countries are their own, it's their own season file. And just with Ireland, there's like 140 players. So that's not, I'm trying to find something kind of right there to do, and my mind is a blank. I've got this almost infinite baseball universe to play with in out of the park baseball, and I can't think of a damn thing to do with it. All right, Rhodes nothing for 2 to lead it off here. Howie Kamnitz kicks and deals, full count, and this one routine fly. Not routine. Tommy Leach actually looked like he had a little trouble with it. But he holds on at that late jump. So 1 away, and we go back to the top of the order for Cleveland. Left fielder Josh Clark. I appreciate you, Robbie. You're like the project manager. So come up with something. We have 2 innings worth. Something fun to do in out of the park baseball. That'd be fun. And much appreciated. All right, Kamnitz fires it in to Josh Clark. Here's the 0-1. Clark, bounding ball to third. Plenty of time for Jeff Barbeau. Pegs it across to Bill Abstein first before the 5-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down for Cleveland. And it brings up third baseman Bill Bradley. So had a double back in the 4th. Struck out his last time up against Kamnitz. Oh, you can barely hear me there. Is that better? Sorry, my mic kind of slipped down. Need to buy another one. Kamnitz fires it in. Bradley swings, base hit to right. Wilson up with it. Bradley thought about second. All right, thanks, Robbie. Runner aboard for Cleveland. 2 away. That's the tying run, and here's George Stovall. RBI triple back in the 4th. Struck out his last time up. Kamnitz winds and fires, and it's a pitch out. Bradley not biting. This time Kamnitz throws over. They're really trying to keep Bradley honest over there. 18 steals. He's not exactly Hannes Wagner, but Pittsburgh battery trying to keep him honest. Bradley into his lead again with 2 down. Kamnitz deals. Here's the 1-0. And Stovall sends this to right field and right into the glove of Chief Wilson. Ed Foster will now come on in relief for the Cleveland Naps. So Foster's numbers look like this. In 1908, a 2.14 earned run average, 1 win, no losses, 2 saves, 21 innings pitched, 12 walks, 11 strikeouts. And he'll face Jab Barbeau, Howie Kamnitz, and Fred Clark. 3-2 Bucko lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Pirates looking to even it up here before this series will move on to League Park in Cleveland. And Ham Hyatt pinch hitting for the Pirates. Long fly ball to left, and Josh Clark has it just short of the wall. So if Ham Hyatt stays in, Jack Barbeau out, Hyatt in. We will see. Howie Kamnitz, 0-for-2. Ed Foster deals, and Foster walking Kamnitz. So the pitcher aboard, and back at the top of the order for Fred Clark. Pittsburgh would like to put a little padding on the skeletal 3-2 lead. With Cleveland having 3 more chances in the 9th, we will see Lajoie, Hinchman, and Clark, the number 4, 5, 6 hitters, due up for the Naps when we go to the 9th. Fred Clark has singled and grounded out twice. Kamnitz at first, not a threat to steal. Ed Foster with a 3-1, and Foster, much to the glee of the Pittsburgh Pirates, having some trouble finding the strike zone. Walked Howie Kamnitz and walked Fred Clark. And here's Hannes Wagner, who is 1-for-2. Foster peers in. Has the sign from Nick Clark. Here is the wind and the payoff pitch to Hannes Wagner. Fastball fouled behind the plate. Nick Clark giving chase, but this one is going to make the stands here at Forbes Field. Forbes Field opening in 1909, and the Pittsburgh Pirates winning their first World Championship, defeating the Detroit Tigers in 1909. Pirates playing in the first modern World Series in 1903 against Boston, losing 5 games to 3. It was a best of 9. 2 aboard for the Bucks. Payoff pitch once against to Wagner. Changeup. This one driven to left, and Clark has it at the wall. So the runners do not advance, 2 down. It's up to Dots Miller here to try to get a little insurance here for the Bucks. Miller has popped to third, walked, and lined to second. And when he lined to second, Wagner was doubled off first. That was back in the 6th. Kamnitz at second, Clark at first. Foster with the 0-2. Dots Miller swings. Fly ball to left, and this one off the wall. And Kamnitz will come in to score, as will Fred Clark. Dots Miller with a 2 RBI double. And now the Pirates with what, as Ernie Harwell would say, a safer margin. It is now 5-2. Miller in scoring position, or Dots Miller in scoring position. So gave it a good ride, exactly what the Buccos needed. Player manager Fred Clark very, very happy with his second baseman. Tommy Leach, 0-for-3. Here is the wind and the delivery to Leach. Leach sends this 2-0 out to Bill Hinchman and right, and the side retired. But the Pittsburgh Pirates pick up 2 big runs, 1 hit, no errors, and we go to the top of the 9th inning. The 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates 5, the 1908 Cleveland Naps 2. Kamnitz looking strong out there on the mound. Kamnitz good for about another 35 pitches. But he's got to get past Napoleon Lajoie and Bill Hinchman and Nick Clark. And the Buccos even up the series. Lajoie with an RBI back in the 4th, other than that. And actually he's grounded out all 3 times he's been up. So Kamnitz doing a good job keeping that dangerous man off the base paths. The 1-1 to Lajoie, fastball, chopper to Wagner. Wagner up with it in plenty of time to retire Lajoie. 1 up, 1 down here in the Cleveland 9th. And here is right fielder Bill Hinchman. He is 1-for-3. Kamnitz with the wind in the 0-2. Base hit right field. Wilson up with it, gets it into Dots Miller. So potential 3rd Cleveland run on at first. And here's Nick Clark, who is 1-for-1, doubled back in the 7th. Kamnitz checks the runner, the 0-1 delivery, curveball, base hit, right field. Kamnitz could be in a little bit of trouble here. D. Scott Howard says the 59, 103, 80 Mariners just went to 1909 Pittsburgh so I could see the ballpark. And the Mariners beat Babe Adams 4-2 on back-to-back throwing errors at home plate by Fred Clark. And Bannister got the win. Wow. The 80 Mariners taking down the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. How about that? Oof. All right, Howie Kamnitz looking to induce a double play ball here. Joe Birmingham in 1908 grounded into 4 double plays. Nothing for 3. Kamnitz looking to shut it down here. Count even, and Wilbur Good comes in, pinch hitter. Chopper to Wagner, Wagner to Miller, Miller to Abstein, and that's your ball game. The Pittsburgh Pirates win this one 5-2 and even up the series at 1 game apiece. Let's look at our game recap here. For the victorious Pittsburgh Pirates, 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. For the 1908 Cleveland Naps, pardon me, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Actually, more highlights for the Naps, kind of interestingly enough, right? So, make sure we get the right Clark here. So many Clarks. So many Clarks. All right. So, Nick Clark, the catcher, goes 2 for 2 with a double and 2 walks. Bill Bradley, 2 for 4 with a double. George Stovall, 1 for 4 with a triple. But George Gibson, who I believe deserves MVP of the game, went 1 for 3, 2 RBI, that big 2 RBI triple. Howie Kamnitz goes to 1-0 for the Pirates. Bob Rhodes goes to 1-1 for the Naps. Looking at pitching here, so Rhodes pitched 7, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, walked 2, no strikeouts. Ed Foster came in, worked an inning in relief. 2 runs, both earned, walked 2. Howie Kamnitz goes the distance. 2 runs, both earned, walked 2, and 4 strikeouts. And I'm awarding Gibson MVP, even if the game doesn't. And let's see. Yeah, it gave the MVP to Howie Kamnitz. And Kamnitz certainly pitched a good ball game, but George Gibson gets the MVP here. So only 1 stolen base in this game. We had a couple 3 pickoffs actually. So Pittsburgh nailed 2, and Pittsburgh was nailed once on a pickoff. Tommy Leach with a great play, and Hannes Wagner. Wilson 1 poor play. Cleveland stranded 5. And Pittsburgh stranded 2. Both Cleveland and Pittsburgh each turned a double play. And we're not going to go into the rest of this stuff. All right, let's look at our playoff bracket now and see how things are shaking out here in the KCCO. So Pittsburgh and Cleveland tied at 1 game each. The 1907 Chicago Cubs 2-0 lead over the 1919 Reds. And we're putting just a little stop right now on the other 4 teams in this tournament. So the 1885 Chicago White Stockings won a wild one in a 1-0 lead over the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. And we have yet to see the beginning of the 1884 Providence Grays and 1912 Boston Red Sox. Those two matchups we'll be waiting for Ken Castro to come back. All right, so Robbie says, if you struggle much to find a project for out of the park baseball to do, maybe just bring out games like old time baseball and such while you wait for inspiration would be good. Maybe. Robbie Warburg says 1909 Pirates losing a pre-baseball for Windows tournament warm-up there in D. Scott Howard's universe makes me wonder how well that team will compete against history. Pretty strong team, 1909 Pirates. I mean, they beat a tough Detroit Tigers. The Pirates that year And again, that's just one game. That year, Robbie, the Pirates went 110-42 and staved off. They were just a very, very good team in 1909. The 1902 Pirates were really dominant. Part of that, of course, having to do with the American League, and 100 and I think 18 players jumped to the American League in 1901. But Barney Dreyfuss paid his players pretty well, and if I don't think many, if any, Pittsburgh Pirates jumped to the American League. Um, but you wonder how they'll compete against history? Guess you find out. So who knows? So Robbie he's going to try to create some sort of tournament baseball for Windows. So that should be fun to see how that plays out, since that game doesn't have tournament functionality. Anyhow, I guess that's it, guys. And thank you both. I know it's Robbie Wartburg and D. Scott Howard and a mysterious third person hanging out. So thanks. Oh, of course. Absolutely. I mean, I don't, there are great teams, but can you say, who's, and even, total baseball? I mean, yeah, all these people, this team's the greatest team in history, that team's the greatest history. Who knows? Check your channel on Discord, you got to create it. There's the Cubs and Bears. No matter how good a team is, it will lose at least a third of its games. No matter how bad, right? Exactly. And it's what you do with the other third that matters, right? The Cubs and Bears? Pirates probably looking ahead to the tournament. Yeah, good. They're a good team, Robbie. I mean, you don't get to be 110 wins and 42 losses. They're a good team. But time will tell. Time will tell in your tournament and whose ever tournament will tell. The only reason I don't do like a season replay, especially of 1909, is, I mean, it's really kind of 1908 all over again, just not as close. And 1908's been done really too much. So I am at a loss as to what to do here. But for now, what I'm going to do is end the broadcast at 2:55. Yeah, one game sample doesn't mean dick. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I know enough about F-ball even to know, right? And I think it's true of any sport. On any given day, the lousiest team can beat the greatest team. And of course, you're going to see the 1927 Yankees, right? And I mean, I'm not berating you, just right? But I mean, my God, everybody talks about the 1927 Yankees as if they'd never lost a game. I mean, they were a powerful team, but you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose games. It is that old saying. You're going to win a third, you're going to lose a third, and it's what you do with the other third that makes all the difference. New York Yankees win 110-44, Robbie, and the 1909 Pittsburgh win 110-42. So, pretty much identical records. The Yankees finishing 19 games ahead of the Philadelphia Athletics in 1927. But if I look at let's see how the Pirates did in 1909. Not that it matters, because again, these are two, they're separated by decades. So the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, actually a pretty good race, at least, well, decent race. It wasn't like 1908. The Pirates finishing 6.5 up on the Cubs 1909. The Giants a distant third at 18.5 back. The Pirates were just super dominant that year. The Pythagorean win-loss. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over that, guys, but it is late. 105 wins, 47 losses. They were 57-21 on home, 54-21 on the road. And one-run games, they were 34-13. And they were 83-35 against righties, 28-7 against lefties. Time spent at or greater than 500. or how did they do against teams at or above 500? They were 40 and 27, and at teams below 500, they were 71 and 15. So it wasn't like they feasted on bottom feeders. Very, very strong team. Very, very strong team. And in fact, and I know I'm just looking over here, but you can kind of look at the graph if you want. Just give you an idea. Let's bring it over here before we close it down. And look at all that green there. I mean, this is just, you know, what a tough team they were. Again, though, Robbie, I mean, yeah, you're right. It could be fun. But, I mean, my God, what about, some other great teams? People always talk about the 1927 Yankees. I happen to like the 1936 Yankees. Lou Gehrig out from Babe Ruth's shadow. It's Joe DiMaggio's rookie year. What about the 1953 Dodgers? The 19, so many great teams. That's the fun thing about baseball. I mean, that's what I tried to do with that historic 16 tournament last year, was pull together 16 great teams. But you could keep doing that and keep picking 16 great teams all around, all around. So you make a point, but yeah, that's such a small sample size. You guys do know about Back to Baseball, I would assume. Very, very, very good stuff. By the way, good place to grab logos here, guys, if you need logos for any of your games. Baseball Reference is a great place to get them if you want them. 53 Brooklyn Dodgers, many argue that they were better than the 1955 World Series winning Brooklyn Dodgers. All right, that does it. Thank you guys for coming in, and hope you had fun. I know I did. Looking forward to the Howie Shanks Baseball Bingo League. Um, and check out Back to Baseball. What a fun site that is. The Cubs of Bear says when he plays a 32-team all-time great tournament, the winner has been the late 30s Yankees more than not. And I believe that. I completely believe that. Those late 1930s Yankees were amazing. And those Yankees teams of the 40s and 50s were nuts. Have fun with it, Robbie, and I hope for you it's a learning experience, a good thing for you, huh? See, I was talking about I didn't like having Wagner leading off, and I actually moved him down to second spot. But look, Wagner is actually batting cleanup, which makes sense, power hitter. So Barbeau was the leadoff hitter. I might try sometime, not in this tournament, it wouldn't be fair, but might have to play around with some as played lineup. There's Eddie Grant. Eddie Grant killed in World War One. But anyhow, I digress. All right, my thanks to, I won't be able to get everybody, it was a long stream, but to Robbie Wartburg, the Cubs, the Bears, D. Scott Howard, JT Dutch, Aaron Reed. It's probably about time that MV is probably getting up for work. Steve Tate, Pib 99. I know Clee Baseball fan Tim was in with us earlier. Clee Baseball fan 879. Legend Sports Universe was also here, so thank you to him. To Todd B, thank you, Todd B. And I think we've got everybody just about covered. Did I say Pib 99? I'll say it again. My paisan, Pisano, Pib 99. And that's as far back as I can go. Because we're back in baseball for Windows. All right. Long day but fun. Good night, D. Scott. Good night, everybody. See you around the batting cage.